tax liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy, Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Yeah.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, y'all. It is the Chris and Amy Show. Amy, Mark Scores, Chris Ranji, and until 12 o'clock, we'll be with you. Then it's the Gas House Gang. That happens at noon. 314-436-7900 is the phone number on the station. And so you can check in when we want your participation, which actually is a lot of the time. We love to have your participation. So please join us. You can leave us voice messages from the Odyssey app. There's a button that says leave a message. Super easy to do that. So give us your thoughts there. And you can text us if you like. 314-436-7900. We are streaming live on all these really cool platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Severe weather rolling through the general area. There were some power outages happening over in Illinois, and a tornado watch is still in effect for parts of Illinois and Indiana.
And inflation holding steady at 2.4%. But how will the conflict in Iran affect it moving forward? I have great news. Dave Simons joins us today. He's a partner and managing director of One Private Wealth.
And the Blues had a 3-goal lead, and they coughed it up.
Kind of a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, they get a point.
For a second, it was a 4-goal lead.
All right, I don't mean to lead with the Blues here, but I'm going
yeah,
to.
Our boss
I'm
has
going
told us
to.
not to.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't talk about Blues. That's not really what happened. But let me just say this about that. I go to dinner last night, had a bit of a late dinner, and I saw the 4th goal happen on the television. And I'm like, oh, man, they're up 4-0. All right, let's go. Leave. Don't watch the game from there. And somebody at the table says, hey, the Blues lost tonight. And I said, what? They had a 4-goal lead. What do you mean they lost?
And they lost 4-3, which probably sounded impossible to you.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, hold on. I saw goal number 4 happen. What are we talking about here? So I had this. Here's where I stood on it, because this has been a lousy season for them. So the only saving grace of it is, well, at least they're going to get a really high draft pick. But then they start going on this winning streak, which I thought, okay, here we go. Now they're about to win 5 in a row. Like, no, don't do that. Keep losing. You want the higher pick, right? And I had this like simultaneous anger at them for winning the game, but then getting mad again when I found out they lost.
Yes. No.
So I'm totally contradicting myself. Like, okay, I want you to lose, but not like that.
It's funny.
Don't do that.
Because I was at that game, and when they scored the 4th goal, I just thought, they're ruining everything. They are literally ruining everything.
Oh my gosh.
We suffered all year, finally accepted that this team is terrible, is not going to make the playoffs, and maybe they'll get a high draft pick. And suddenly they go on a 4-game winning streak. They leapfrog the Chicago Blackhawks, the Calgary Flames, the New York Rangers. They start jumping over all of these teams. And I was talking to someone up in the press box last night, and he goes, if they win this game, let's say they have a couple of good games in a row, they could be 3 points out of a playoff spot.
I know. No, come on.
No.
Okay.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. 3 points out of a playoff spot. You talk about, backing into the playoffs, but no, they lost. And of course, that 4th goal was called back because it was offside. It was challenged by the Islanders. And yes, I agree with Ranj. I'm mad that they were winning, and I'm mad that they lost the way they did.
What an impressive feat to make us mad for both reasons.
I think
what I mean?
The second intermission, they went to the locker room, and I don't know. Maybe it was the coach. What the hell are you doing?
No, stop it. Stop it. Maybe the Blues challenged their own goal.
They did.
They said, no, wait, hold
They
on.
get a power
Hold on,
play.
wait. We scored? No, wait,
Yeah.
actually.
They get a power play. They deny the penalty. The Blues have denied the
It's just-
penalty. I
it's so
also,
funny.
or, suddenly there's, the penalty for too many men on the ice.
Yeah.
The Blues are committing too few men.
Yeah. Guys, you have to have more than two
Yeah.
out there. You can't just have a goalie and then one other person.
All right. We talked about the weather that, well, really, we're still going to get some weather. I mean, the cooler temperatures are rolling in. It's warm and very humid right now.
Mhm.
I didn't look at the dew point. And that's my go-to because Raj walked in to this office today livid because
Well-
it's 59 degrees and he's hot.
Yeah, I walked in and I said, okay, it is 59 degrees outside, but somehow it feels like it's 90. Why does it feel so gross?
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now. This is that weird part of the year where the
Mhm.
temperature tells you, hey, it's going to be a little chilly out there. And then you go outside and say, what is going on? Because it is kind of toasty.
Yeah, it's toasty. And I know that temperature is going to drop down into the 40s tonight, but there were some tornadoes that hit, some severe weather kind of in the Illinois area, Madison County. If you have any weather photos, like pictures that you took at your home, whether it's damage from the wind, hail, whatever it may be, you can tweet it at, who should we have them tweeted at KMOX News?
Yeah. Well, they could do
Or our
at
show.
KMOX News or at Chris Amy KMOX. If you have damage
Mhm.
from the storm, we want to see it. The newsroom would like to see it too.
Yeah.
So at KMOX News, if you give us permission to reuse it, we would like to see it. And hopefully it's nothing too serious for you wherever you are. But we do know that power outages
Mhm.
happen all over the area. Close to 2,000 Missourians had outages. In Illinois, about 6,300 people were affected by that.
Yep.
And, at least it is not 95 degrees today or 15.
Yeah.
Because when the power goes out, so does your HVAC.
And I think Total Information AM said this morning in St. Louis County, only about 1,000 people with their electricity out. But yeah, we want to see how the storms, how the weather affected you. I saw some pictures coming out of St. Clair. I saw some pictures coming out of Madison County. Trees were down, some hail. So again, you can tweet at Chris Amy KMOX or at KMOX News.
And we're entering that time of year. I mean, this is the time of the year where the
Mhm.
storms are really going to start to ramp up.
Yeah.
And we'll see some serious stuff. And obviously here in St. Louis, we know that all too well.
You remember the Billikens whiteout game that we
Yep.
broadcasted live from St. Louis University.
We did.
Hancock and Kelly were there. Governor Mike Kehoe stopped by. He had a long conversation with Hancock and Kelly. And a big part of that conversation was about the plan or the proposal to eliminate state income tax in the state of Missouri. So there's a proposed constitutional amendment that would give lawmakers the ability to expand the state sales tax and use that revenue to help in the plan to eliminate the income tax in the state of Missouri. So that proposed amendment won initial approval in the Missouri House yesterday. It still needs another vote in the House before it heads to the Senate. If it were to win approval there, then that would go to a statewide ballot later this year. And I know we had questions for the governor about eliminating the state income tax. And important to note, the state income tax generates about 65% of the state's annual general revenue. So that's a big chunk.
It is.
And some of the states that don't have income tax, like we mentioned of Florida, they've got massive tourism industries. And it's not that Missouri doesn't have any tourism. Of course we do. We have the Arch, and that is a national park, and you've got the Cardinals and the zoo and all of that. But it's not Florida. It's not some of the mountainous states. What was it? Was it Wyoming, where you have mountains and national parks and massive tourism industries? So I don't know. We know that Kansas, right, eliminated the state income tax and then reversed that.
Yeah, because they found out it was a bit of a disaster.
Well,
because
Kansas doesn't have the big
a reason
tourism
to show up. Yeah,
a reason.
So, well, I mean, unless you go to KU or something and watch basketball, you're really into that. I don't know why you would visit Kansas. Soon you're going to be able to visit Chiefs games, but a lot of people will probably still stay in Missouri.
I always joke that Kansas is the one night stand of the states. You spend the night there, you leave the money on the table, aka the tolls, and then you just keep driving. And the Kansas state motto is "Have fun in Colorado."
I think that's pretty good.
I think that is the Kansas state motto: is "Have fun in Colorado."
Of course, nobody really wants to pay taxes. Of course, it would be great if you got your full paycheck and there was nothing missing from it. But in a society, in reality, we can't not have it. And you can argue, well, we're taxed too much, or I don't like the way they spend it. They never really find, there's always some waste. First of all, when it comes to waste, it's going to be impossible as long as we have government, which we have to have government because we do, again, live in a society when you have a bunch of people living very close together, you got to have some government. You can't not have it. All right.
Bunch of people living close together.
That's
how it started.
It's you have to have a government. And I know some people hate it, whatever, but it's just the reality. I know we don't like to give money to them, and I know that we feel like they're not going to spend it properly.
Or I would say, I like the government, just like smaller government. That's
always going to complain about waste. Here's the thing. You're never, ever going to have a 100% efficiently run government anywhere ever. It's just, we're humans. It just isn't going to work. There's always going to be some waste. Why'd they spend on this program? Why'd they pay so much for this bid that they contracted out? Why? Here they go wasting my money. It's unavoidable. Okay.
Yeah,
but I'm concerned that if this goes through, and there are a lot of politicians who are saying this is a mistake in Kansas City. Just read a story from the KC Star about how this is going to be a mistake for the state of Missouri. And I think that it could very well end up being one, and we'll find that out in a few years and say, ooh, maybe we need to bring this back. I'd like to know how they're going to make up the money they lose. And I'm not as confident as people on that side are that we'll be okay. Even if we eliminate state sales tax, we're going to be fine. We'll make it up in other ways. I need to be shown proof on that.
I don't know how I feel because I don't know. It's above my pay grade. Here's why I'm skeptical. Some of the states that don't have sales tax.
Yeah.
Not sales, income tax. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Washington, Wyoming, Texas, massive tourism industries and parks and mountain ranges and cities. Very different dynamics than Missouri right now.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX, again with you until 12 o'clock today on 104.1 FM.
Take a thrilling ride with your St. Louis Symphony Orchestra to the far reaches of space in John Williams and Kevin Putt's A Cosmic Journey. Experience Kevin Putt's otherworldly concerto, Contact, featuring the Grammy Award-winning trio Time for Three. Then soar through the unforgettable music from John Williams' iconic film scores, including E.T. and Star Wars. March 20th and 22nd at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Tax season is here, and Missouri families are already seeing the real impact of the Working Families Tax Cut Act. House Republicans are delivering real results for hardworking Missourians. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, the bill is projected to raise wages in Missouri by about $3,000 to $6,000 over the next 4 years. That's more money for groceries, gas, and greater security for your family's future. In Congress, I'm working to protect working families, strengthen our economy, and ensure you are keeping more of your hard-earned money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcast.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions. So it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for Burn Balance Complex, which is the latest tool you can find at supplement superstores. It is top of the line. This is a complete metabolism system, not just a fat burner. So you get the metabolism boost, all-day focused energy with no jitters or crash. You get help with appetite control and cravings, and it'll reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels. It is a fantastic tool, especially for those who don't want prescriptions or injections. So get out to supplement superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey, you mentioned the whiteout game, the Blizzard, the Billikens Blizzard that we went to, before the Dayton game, one that they won. Well, let me give you a little slew note. Would you like a little slew note?
Slew news.
Slew news. We have a little slews for you here.
Yes.
Robbie Avila.
Yes.
That's our guy. He sat
Kareem
down with
Abdul.
us. That's right. He sat down with us. We've interviewed him a number of times.
Specs McGee.
He and Coach Schertz.
Yep.
Very funny together.
Yes.
Well, Robbie Avila was named the A10 Player of the Year. He's the Conference Player of the Year. And 6 other, I guess, well, he's included in the 6, but 6 Billikens earned all conference honors. So that's a very good deal.
Congratulations.
But Robbie Avila, the A10 Player of the Year. That's awesome.
Here's what I would say. Get it together, boys.
Yeah.
Get it together.
That's right, because the A10 tournament starts today, but the Billikens have the double bye, which means they will not play until Friday morning, and that contest will be right here on 104.1 FM KMOX, 10:15 a.m. for the pregame show. They're playing in Pittsburgh, so it'll be 11:15 there. What college kid wants to play a basketball game at 11 a.m.?
Maybe Robbie, because he doesn't eat on game days.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes. Although he did say sometimes he doesn't even eat after the game. But I would think if it's an 11 a.m. game, you're going to be hungry by the time night rolls around.
He's going to have to eat. Also, he's 6'10" or whatever.
I know, but he doesn't eat on game days.
That's crazy.
Mind-boggling.
And didn't he say he tried it and it just wasn't for him?
Yes, it wasn't for him. didn't jive.
Like, don't you have to have some energy, man? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
At any rate, that'll be exciting, but they're going to have to look better than they've looked in the past couple of games.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of annoyed to get to this, but I do think we will. So just because we did talk yesterday about the work, the important, the critical work that reporters do, investigative journalism, and how a free nation needs a free press, and it is so important. And that there are, yes, I mean, when you read all the newspapers, you can see, like, especially the editorial pages, right? The Wall Street Journal leaves right, the New York Times leans left, and you can see how different reporters cover different stories, and you can see what kind of reporters maybe different outlets cover. But at the end of the day, you need a free press. When they mess up, it's really, really bothersome. I've always heard the phrase, no one hates a bad cop more than good cops. And I bet no one hates a bad headline or a bad journalist more than good journalists. CNN did have a very confusing, bizarre post yesterday about the 2 ISIS-inspired terrorists who threw bombs that didn't blow up in New York in front of Zohran Mamdani's house. There was an anti-Islam protest in front of Zohran Mamdani's house a few days ago. And there were 2 ISIS-inspired terrorists who tried to throw bombs at that protest. Here's the post on Twitter from CNN. 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside of Mayor Zohran Mamdani's house. Here's what we know so far. There is no other way to describe that post as utterly bizarre. Their lives would change. They were going to New York and should have enjoyed the weather. These guys were terrorists, inspired, motivated by ISIS they built bombs that were filled with nails and particles to kill and maim people. I have no explanation for why the person who posted this would write that the way. I mean, unless they're just straight up sympathizers with terrorists, but also how did that pass any muster? Did no one check that post?
So my guess, my feeling is that AI was involved somehow with writing that headline, because it doesn't really fit, and it didn't fit the headline of the article. It has been deleted, by the way, and CNN posted this in response to it. It says a post regarding the 2 individuals arrested for throwing homemade bombs outside Mayor Mamdani's home failed to reflect the gravity of the incident, thereby breaching the editorial standards we require for all our reporting. It has therefore been deleted. It was a social media post. I don't know who did it. I don't know why they did it that way. I think that in itself, that one incident is bad. I can't blame an entire news outlet for it, though. And what I mean is all of the reporting they do. That is not reflective of how they usually report stuff. And that's a tweet. It's not the headline.
Yeah, and I don't know if the reporter wrote it. The story was, I don't know. It was not good. And I do think that's why the
post was not good.
The post was not good. The gatekeeping needs to be stricter, because I actually really like CNN.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of the reporters there. But I will be the first to admit when they absolutely blow it, like the big meme is the, quote, mostly peaceful protests when the city's burning down. That was a bad one. And so those bad ones do stick with you. And I am okay saying I think that whoever wrote that post doesn't belong at CNN. I think the Chiron of mostly peaceful protests was laughable, and that editor doesn't belong at CNN. But I also know that Jake Tapper last night had on Jonah Goldberg, and they were looking at Zohran Mamdani's wife and how the very, anti-Semitic posts she's supported and the, terrorist-linked people that Mamdani supports. And that was Jake Tapper calling that out. So those are one outlet. having two different approaches based on the reporter. And so I can say I don't like that post. Whoever posted that doesn't belong at CNN, but then also they do great work in other areas.
If it is a clear ideology that it's obvious this outlet is doing this on purpose and has a consistent track record of doing it like that, then I would be more upset about it. But it was a one-off post. It was pretty
weird.
bad.
Yeah,
it was weird. I'm not sure who did that, who's responsible, and I would hope that whoever is responsible has been punished in some way. So when we come back, this is a really cool story. Mind's Eye is based in Belleville, and they've been around for over 50 years. And what they do is they bring live audio descriptions of live games to people who are blind. And we have coming in the director of Mind's Eye and a high school junior who works with Mind's Eye, who helps describe what's going on to people who want to listen. It's a very cool story. We're going to talk to Megan and Luke when we come back on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 61 degrees, but as Ron said, it feels super hot. It's humid, cloudy, breezy, and cooler today. A high of 63. Could be rain, some thunderstorms, a leftover shower, but the temperature changes tonight. Windy this evening, a low of 33. Weather sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
Cardinals single game tickets are now on sale for the 2026 season. The schedule delivers big time matchups, including weekend series against the Cubs and Dodgers and visits from the Boston Red Sox. Add in a promotions calendar stacked with fan favorites like all new giveaways, a Hawaiian short and shirt set, golf-inspired hat, dark mode jersey, and a whole lot more. It's Busch Stadium at its best all season long. Lock in your seats today at Cardinals.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Cardinals preseason exhibition play today as they face the Nationals. Pregame 11:55, first pitch 12:05, and you can hear the game streaming on Cardinals.com.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you, and we are excited to welcome in Luke McKeon. He is a high school junior. He is blind, and he works with Mind's Eye. He is a huge radio fan, and he is been just an inspiration on what he has gone through and how he has thrived in his own life. And we also welcome in Megan Harms, Director of Audio Description from Mind's Eye. Welcome both of you to Studio B.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're looking pretty sharp here, Luke, with your Kelly green blazer.
It's actually a suit jacket.
A suit jacket.
It's nice.
It's
a nice
really,
jacket.
really nice. Significance to the Kelly green?
Yep.
What is that significance?
This is the official parade committee jacket.
For the St.
Patrick's Day Parade Committee.
Oh, beautiful. St. Patrick's Day is coming up here very, very soon. So, Luke, tell us about what Mind's Eye does and what exactly it is that you do.
So Mind's Eye audio describes events all around the St. Louis area. They do the Cardinals, they do the Blues, all sorts of things. They do the Fox, they do the Muni during the summer, and all other sorts of events that just pop up here and there. And for me, what I do is my dad and I work on the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee to coordinate. We're kind of the liaison between the committee and Mind's Eye. So we send out like information. We make sure Mind's Eye has what they need. We get volunteers for our area because we run the Veterans and Disabled Viewing Area in front of Soldiers Memorial Military Museum between 13th and 14th on Market on Parade Day.
So you make this parade accessible for blind and visually impaired people.
Pretty much. And basically anyone with disabilities. And if anyone, even if you're not blind or visually impaired and you just want to hear the parade, you can use Mind's Eye's app to hear the parade anywhere because they're opening it up everywhere this year.
Oh, excellent. So where do people listen to Mind's Eye audio?
So for the parade and for most of our sporting events, we use an app called Live Voice. And if you are in the area here during the parade and you open the app, you can look for events nearby and it'll pop up. If you're not in the area, you can still go to our website at mindseyeradio.org and you can find the Live Voice code there. And it will be available for anyone everywhere around the universe.
And Mind's Eye has been around since the 70s.
1973.
Wow.
Yeah. We started as a radio information service in 1973.
So with Mind's Eye, and Luke, you were saying that they provide, audio for baseball games, sporting events. How is that different than, say, like the KMOX broadcast of the Cardinals game?
So they're there and they do it live. So there's no, like if you're actually at the sporting event, there's no delays, like the radio delays, because they're broadcasting it live. And they also are trained to provide like extra descriptions because they kind of know what to look for.
So this is when you're at Busch Stadium, you can listen to this and you do it on your phone through the app?
Yep.
That is very, very cool.
So how do you go about doing it? How do you go about broadcasting a game to people who are there or listening at home?
I'll take that one, Luke, if you want.
Yep.
So for a Cardinals game, we actually have describers that are in stadium, and it's the same way you listen on the Live Voice app. Now, for all of our events that are in stadium, you have to be in the stadium. We have to know that you have a ticket to listen because of the radio contracts. We don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Right.
Yes, I didn't even think of that.
Because of the radio and TV contracts.
Major League Baseball will come after you.
Right. We've all heard them say that. So
who are the jerks at MLB that have to hey guys, keep this above board?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to be in stadium, but it works the same way. So you open the Live Voice app and you look for events near you, and it will pop up and it'll say Cardinals versus whoever they're playing that day.
Is it more descriptive than a typical radio broadcast?
Yes.
So
yes. And I'll start, and then Luke, you can take over if you want. So some of the things, because we're in stadium, and we're only describing to people in stadia, we are describing things like the Kiss Cam. We are describing Fredbird or other mascots. We are describing things that could be happening in the stands, like anything that there are people around that have an audible response to, we are describing. So we want to make sure that everybody's having as close to the same experience.
Oh, and I'll just say, for instance, we all know the sound of people suddenly standing up, clapping, yelling when the T-shirts are being thrown.
Yes.
You would describe all of that so you know exactly what's going on.
And we know where they are too. So, yeah.
Luke, what are some things that maybe people don't think of? I didn't think you would want to describe that. What are some good descriptions?
So the radios do a good job of describing the actual game. And I actually listen to games on radio. I love doing that. But Mind's Eye will describe literally everything going on in the stadium that's noteworthy.
Oh, yeah. Like we were saying, whether it's Fredbird, T-shirts, Kiss Cam.
And with this season, it might be the most interesting part, actually.
I know. The Cardinals.
What Fredbird is doing might be baseball. What about Fredbird? What's he up to? How did you get involved with this, Luke? How did you decide you wanted to do this?
So in 2022, we were at the parade as a family, and we were just sitting at the parade. We used to camp out near 9th and Market outside the Hilton at the ballpark, the hotel. And we would sit there and watch the parade as a family. And I was talking to my dad, and I suggested, how about we get Mind's Eye to describe the parade? He was like, yeah, we'll look at that into that later. So we kind of parked that, kind of tabled it. And then the next day we were walking through the hotel lobby, and we ran into Kevin Udina. He was the chairman of the parade committee at the time. So we got to talking to him, and he was pretty interested in our idea. So the next year, he gave us volunteer passes. He gave us passes to the grandstand, basically to the committee area, to the fancy area. So we went in there and watched the parade that year. Just kind of fun. We were still kind of parking our idea. In 2024, my dad and I didn't go to the parade because my sister and mom were out of town. So we went fishing. We went fishing on parade day. Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2025, we revitalized the idea, and we're like, okay, we're going to do this year. We kind of were busy that year and kind of missed the committee. So we revived it. So my dad, hurt his leg in November of 2024. So the committee had started, and we were like, this is going to be interesting. How are we going to do this without going to the actual meetings? So we didn't go to a meeting until January because my dad was hurt. He fell down the stairs and broke his quad tendon.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Does he want everybody to know that?
I don't know.
Because they do now.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Now he's got people wishing him the best.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's fine now.
Oh, okay.
He's fine now. So anyway, by January, he was recovered enough. So we went to the committee, and we were able to hastily get everything organized for parade day. We kind of had to do it really fast because we started late, but it was successful. We had 5 people show up to watch the parade in our area that used Live Voice to listen to the audio description. And we learned a few things, a few lessons that we needed to improve on. So this year we started earlier, and we've been working on it, and it's almost go time.
That's so exciting. What a cool resource for people who otherwise might not be able to participate in the same way and really get to enjoy the parade. And I was, I don't know, does Mind's Eye, if they ever do college basketball games?
We just did, actually.
Which one did you?
We just did the Missouri Valley Conference.
Oh, nice.
the championship and the semifinal games.
See, and now
Great.
because I went to my first Billikens game at Shea Fitz last week. It is chaos. Every break, there's chaos. There are people throwing basketballs and there's meetings on the court and people are winning prizes and presenting big checks. So I imagine that with Mind's Eye, there's a lot to cover.
Yes. And we will actually be covering the March Madness here at Enterprise.
Great.
Awesome.
On the 20th and 22nd?
Just the 22nd.
Just so the Sunday.
Yes, just the Sunday
games.
Mhm.
So with Mind's Eye, and the app is
Live Voice.
Live Voice. And you download that app. Is that the same thing that you have to be in the
You have to
arena?
be in Enterprise. Yep.
At Enterprise. And you can listen.
MindsEyeRadio.org is the website. You can download the app from there.
You can get the app directly from Live Voice.
Okay.
LiveVoice.com. Yep.
Sounds great.
You can get to it eventually.
Yeah.
You can find it on our website, but you can just go to your Play Store and get Live Voice.
Your Play Store, your App Store.
Yep.
And your preferred mobile device, you can download it on.
And Luke, I did want to mention too, you're 16 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a junior at Francis Howell High School.
Yes, ma'am.
Where they've got a good football team. And you were born with a medical condition, which led to blindness. And it says that by the time you were 4 years old, you had already undergone 30 to 40 surgeries.
Yep.
And so growing up and dealing with those issues, was it difficult? Did you have a support network?
Support network was just my family and my teachers that were teaching me like Braille and how to use a cane and how to walk and how to walk around, like how to navigate, like orientation.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty normal. I mean, I go to Francis Howell is a fully public school. I have a twin sister. I go to school with my twin sister. She has no disabilities whatsoever. And so, I mean, it's pretty normal.
Yeah. Is it fun to have like your sister, your twin at school? Because I always hear that twins have a special connection. Like they can almost read each other's thoughts.
I mean, yeah, it's helpful. But I mean, it's a large high school, so we take different classes. Like we're not in the same class or anything. We have some of the same teachers, but
you're enjoying it?
Yep.
What do you want to do when you graduate?
So I'm going to go get my certification of assistive technology instruction, and I'm going to basically contract with companies or schools to make sure that all their stuff is accessible for people, and maybe teach people too, like teach kids or something.
I love that.
It's really great. And you've got parade day coming up. Are you ready to go?
Yep. The parade is totally family oriented. It is family ran, is family volunteers. Come on down because we want to party.
So, hey,
Luke's
everyone
ready
wants
to
to
go.
party.
And you've got your suit jacket, which is so sharp. I love it.
Yep.
You are ready to go, my friend. Luke McKeon, Megan Harms, we appreciate you both coming in with Mind's Eye Radio. Again, mindseyeradio.org, and you can find out more about it. It's really great to meet both of you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Story Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Story Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
St. Louis's unofficial holiday is almost here. It's Cardinals opening day, Thursday, March 26th. And KMOX's Cakes and Eggs, presented by Budweiser, is back. This year with a new twist. You don't need a ticket to enjoy KMOX's live broadcast at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, featuring Cardinals alumni, front office personnel, special guests, and so much more. First come, first served. Doors open at 9 a.m. Celebrate this hometown holiday with Dirt Cheap and Budweiser. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youreyedoctor.com.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Experience music, magic, story, and wonder with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in Scheherazade, Magic and Myth. Feel bold energy and haunting beauty as violinist Leila Josefowitz performs Alban Berg's deeply moving Violin Concerto. Then be swept away by Scheherazade. Saturday, March 14th and Sunday, March 15th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Hey guys, this is Kevin Wheeler, and there's a lot of college basketball going on right now with the FanDuel Sportsbook, which is the official sportsbook of KMOX. You can make all of that madness even more fun for yourself because FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every single day through March 15th. So from now until that final 68 is revealed, you're getting daily profit boosts for a chance at boosted winnings on your college basketball bets. And you don't want to miss this because it's every single day. You can build same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout, try live betting and jump in after the opening tip. And best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. It's that simple. So to get started, just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri and get it rolling and get yourself into the fun before things get really going here in a couple of weeks. Remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens, and restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. You can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of live rock you gotta see. Foghat and Nazareth. With special guests, the Babies. Saturday, May 2nd at the Family Arena. Foghat, Nazareth. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Nazareth and Foghat live. Sawyer Brown.
Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do.
And Lone Star.
Every little thing that you do, baby, I'm a
Live this Saturday night at 7, the Family Arena. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Sawyer Brown and Lone Star together live. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
There was a Missouri man on the FBI's most wanted fugitives list.
Wait, was this recent or this was the guy from years ago? Remember they had the, I think you're
wrong.
No. We had one. We
did have one. That's not it.
Okay, it's a different one.
Yeah, you know why? Cattle fraud.
Cattle fraud?
Yes.
That wasn't this guy. This guy was.
I know. This guy was bad. That's why I knew.
He was a top 10.
Yeah, he was a top 10 for really awful, gross stuff. But Joshua Link was taken in Monday at LAX by Customs and Border Patrol, LAX Airport Police, and FBI task force members because he has committed about $200 million of cattle fraud. Basically, he was one of 5 individuals in an elaborate scheme targeting cattle purchasers, cattle ranchers, and feedlots. They falsely claimed that their company would use the funds to purchase specific individual cattle for each victim, raise the cattle, and then sell the meat for the same specific individual cattle for a profit, but they didn't do that. It was basically a type of like Ponzi scheme type issue, but it was close to $200 million at any rate.
Wow.
I don't think these are real people. They list the name of the people.
Okay.
The names of the people. So Joshua Link, that might be real.
Joshua Link.
Yeah, that's real. But here,
Okay.
Tia Link, Taylor Bang, and Jed
Taylor
Wood.
Bang?
Yeah.
What a name.
And Jed Wood. This is real?
Jed Wood. So would I. I don't. There's
Link,
no way that's
Bang,
real.
and Wood? You think those are real people?
Link, Bang, and Wood? I think they're trolling us.
I mean, it's a terrible story.
Holy.
Tia Link, Taylor Bang, and Jed Wood. It kind of reminds me of that news lady who did the plane crash that was not real names.
Yeah. And, somebody was fired for that, I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Link, Bang, and Wood.
So the Los Angeles Times yesterday, you see the story about people who got sick at Disneyland?
Ew, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And it's not what you think. I mean, first thought is, they went on the roller coasters. Somebody yacked Space Mountain. Somebody yacked at Space Mountain. Or there was food poisoning. No. A hazmat team got called to Disneyland yesterday.
What?
7 employees were sent to the hospital as an odor backstage at one of the attractions made cast members dizzy and short of breath.
Ew. What was it?
So a hazmat team came into Tomorrowland, which is near Star Tours. Several cast members were treated by paramedics. 7 were taken to the hospital. Apparently, it was building materials being used by a contractor that caused the odor. So they don't know exactly what the odor is, but it made 7 people sick. But the headline was hazmat team called to Disneyland. Like, what? What happened?
What happened? And it's Disneyland.
So you were talking, earlier, was last week, about how Disneyland and Disney World's all buttoned up.
Yeah.
That's why people like it. Well, Six Flags ain't had no hazmat team come through.
Well, that we know of. I bet half the employees at Six Flags are hazmat people.
If you know of any...
Have you been to Hurricane Harbor?
There's no hazmat team that rolled through Six Flags ever.
But there should be, and that's the point.
Is there a Six Flags historian out there who could tell us if hazmat has ever come through? I don't think so.
Have you been to Hurricane Harbor?
No.
More like the E. Cole slide.
I don't think so at all. No, they have, come on, they properly treat those things out there. Six Flags is great, and I will not have any slander from any of you people.
You should put your money where your mouth is. And we should broadcast live from Six Flags.
You know what's coming up, Amy?
No.
Pups on the Pitch. And it's presented by Purina, which is fantastic alliteration.
It's a lot
Pups
of
on the
peas.
Pitch presented by Purina. It is a yappy hour at Energizer Park. It's coming up Sunday, March 22nd. And we are going to talk to... oh my God, Petey's coming in. City SC's team pet, Petey, is coming in next.
Oh my gosh. I wish I'd fixed my hair. I want a picture with Petey.
On KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next,
oh boy, it's snowing.
Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. Sponsored by
Saliga Heating and Cooling.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price as 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Because shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate. Evans is a proven fighter and the only candidate for U.S. Senate with guts and know-how to get the job done. As an attorney, she took on China and corporate criminals. Jeannie Evans won billions for working families. As senator, Evans will fight and win for you. She'll work to cut taxes and lower the cost of living. Evans believes that keeping Illinois safe will take more than just wishful thinking. It takes courage, and Jeannie Evans has the record to prove it. Evans will always be tough on crime. She'll hold China accountable for trafficking fentanyl and stealing our personal data. Jeannie Evans puts America first. A proven fighter. Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate.
I'm Jeannie Evans, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jeannie for Illinois.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock and it is cloudy, drizzly, 62 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. While Iran may not have much ability to launch missiles, its leaders claim to have months' worth of drones. And as the U.S. and Israeli war on Iran continues, neighboring countries remain targets for those drones. CBS News chief foreign correspondent Holly Williams has more on the drone warfare. She reports from northern Iraq.
This is the very definition of asymmetrical warfare. And in recent days, Iran has claimed that it still has the firepower, the stockpiles to sustain a 6-month-long high-intensity war.
Iran's new supreme leader hasn't been seen publicly since he was selected, but Holly Williams tells us he's well known in Iran. And according to President Trump, the son of the supreme leader is not a satisfactory replacement.
The son reportedly served as his father's gatekeeper before his death. Now, what's interesting is that we haven't seen the new supreme leader really engage with the public since he succeeded his father. And there are reports that he was wounded in the same airstrike.
Granite City's mayor addressed a packed public forum last night over the prospect of data center development coming to the Metro East.
If the deal's not right and it's not good for Granite City and it doesn't take into consideration tax breaks, considerable tax breaks for our overburdened taxes on our properties here in Granite, then it's just not a deal we'll do.
Mayor Mike Parkinson says there's been no formal offer, but companies are already sizing up the area for available land, power, and water. And he tells residents the city is studying mistakes made in other communities and plans to use zoning requirements and tax negotiations as leverage before signing anything. What's the 311?
311 is a brand new, fantastic way to connect city residents with city services.
Brett Delaria with St. Louis City Public Safety says it makes it easier for residents to report issues. Karen Clifford with Neighborhood Stabilization says 311 is new to St. Louis, but has been around for about 20 years in many other big cities.
The mayor is a strong proponent for this. Mayor Spencer you'll see her referring to the 311 center, or call 311. So she is a strong proponent. She was the one that brought it to our attention to make sure that we did get the 311 established in the city of St. Louis.
It's being kicked off today on 311, March 11th. You can still file reports with the CSB on Twitter, X, and now also on Blue Sky. From the KMOX business desk, inflation in the U.S. remains stable at 2.4% in February, in line with market expectations. Affordability concerns continue to be an issue for many Americans. Aaron Delmore is a geoeconomics correspondent with the latest on the Consumer Price Index data.
Apparel is still up,
food is still up too. And that's one of the ones that are hitting households all across the income spectrum here. Certainly, even if you constrain your spending in other categories, food increases are going to hit you hard.
Periods of rain until mid-afternoon before ending, becoming windy and turning cooler this afternoon. Temperature will end the day in the mid-40s. Breezy this evening, clearing and much colder tonight, low 31. Tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, high 56. Friday, breezy with times of sun and clouds, high 61. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's 62 degrees with cloudy skies, and the weather is sponsored by the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Well, Amy, I have acquired a dog.
He's adorable.
During the break, I have adopted Petey. He is now mine. He no longer belongs to City SC. This is my dog, and you can all go away.
Okay, we didn't warn you guys about this. Ranj has a tendency to claim the animals that we meet, so he has also technically claimed Cash the Clydesdale.
Yeah,
from
Cash
the
is mine
Budweiser,
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
from the Budweiser team.
Sorry, mine. This is amazing. We have Pups on the Pitch, presented by Purina. I love the alliteration. It's great. And it's coming up Sunday, March 22nd. And a limited number of tickets are going to be available starting, today. In fact, 5 minutes ago, they went on sale for Pups on the Pitch. And with us in studio is Ken Early, who's the Director of Community Relations with City SC, and Lisa Bauer, Development and Marketing Manager for CARE STL. And Petey is here.
You can hear him. He's so sweet.
I know. What's he doing down there? I'm just going to, you do this. I'm going to talk to Petey.
I know. Okay, so let's introduce Petey to the listening audience. What do people need to know about Petey?
Yeah, Petey is our team pet. We have him in partnership with Purina. He has been through 2 years of training with our partners at Champ Assistance Dogs. And yeah, he's a 75-pound English lab, yellow lab.
And you said 2 years of training, so is he just over 2 years old then?
He's about 2.5, yeah.
2.5, yeah. And then what kind of training has he done? Like, what does that entail?
Yeah, so he's gone through all of the Champ training, which is similar to assistance and therapy dogs. He's done both of those tracks, but he's technically a facility dog because he works at Energizer Park with us.
So where does he live?
He lives with me.
He lives with you?
Indeed.
Oh, okay. So I have to wrestle you for him?
Yes.
We can do that.
Okay. All right.
So Pups on the Pitch. It sounds like people are bringing their dogs onto the pitch. That's what it sounds like. Is that what it is?
That is what it is.
Sounds illegal. So how does this work?
It's definitely not illegal. We did this once in 2024, and the response was really great. And so we're bringing it back for 2026. But yeah, folks can bring their pups onto the pitch. We encourage them to bring a blanket and spend the evening out in Energizer Park.
What I've noticed is that dogs at the ballpark or the stadium, it's always a hit, no matter what. And this is a really great event, too, because it benefits CARE STL Adoption Center. Elisa, you want to tell us about it?
Yes. CARE STL, we are the city shelter. So any animals that get picked up in the city of St. Louis come to us. We are super thankful to be a part of this event. We love any event that brings attention to the dogs who need adopting. And we are just thrilled to be there. It's going to be so much fun.
Will there be dogs there that need to be adopted?
We're going to bring adoptable CARE dogs with us so people can come and meet them, bring their own dogs, mingle. It's going to be a great time.
So how does that work if you do show up and you have some pets there that they can take them home right then?
Yes, they're adoptable right there and then. They can also leave for foster. We'll have staff members on site that can complete adoptions and finalize fosters for you right there.
It's amazing.
That's really
come get a dog.
So with fostering, I just always thought this. I feel like it would be really hard to foster a dog and not want to adopt that dog. Like, how would you give that up? Does that happen a lot where
Definitely. We call it a foster fail, which sounds bad, but it's actually really good.
I like that.
I myself have foster failed. It's inevitable for some people.
Yeah.
Other people are just determined to be forever fosters, to open their homes up for dogs that need that space. But if you fall in love, you are welcome to adopt your foster. And we provide everything you need for fostering.
Yeah.
Everything is free. Food, toys, treats, a crate, a kennel if you need one. So yeah.
What is the
Excellent.
greatest need that your organization has?
Oh gosh. Right now it's probably adopters and fosters. We are at 127% capacity, I believe. We're a little over 90 dogs and we have space for 60. So we have more dogs coming in than we have going out. I think our second greatest need, we have a wish list posted on our website. And then, of course, financial donations are always appreciated. The money gets used to care for the hundreds of dogs we get every month.
Is there any plan or expectation that you guys might have to expand at some point?
We're actually in the process. We have a capital campaign going right now. We are moving into a new building. We do not have a date set yet. We are trying to do that sooner rather than later. We not only want to expand space for our dogs, but we also want to make it into a space that is more of an affordable vet clinic for the community. So I think focusing on affordable healthcare for your pets will also help keep families together so that we have less dogs coming into the shelter.
Want to direct people to the website. It's icarestl.org. You can make donations there and get more information on it. Again, Pups on the Pitch, presented by Purina, is coming up at Energizer Park. It's on the 22nd. Tickets are on sale as of just 10 minutes ago. And Ken, tell us more about what will be happening the day of Pups on the Pitch. I know that there are drink tickets involved. There's a lot of other good stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. Head to stlcitysc.com/pups to grab tickets. They're $60 for 2 humans, 1 dog. And with that, you get drink tickets and some snacks from inside of the stadium. And yeah, it'll be a really fun night for people to come out, bring their dogs, and just kind of get a unique experience inside of Energizer Park.
Actually, I do have a quick question because there are a lot of people who might have 2 or 3 dogs. Is it 1 dog per ticket set?
It is 1 dog per ticket, but
Okay.
I'm sure we can find a solve there. But yeah, we had a lot of outreach, but I think it is 2 humans per dog. But I know a lot of people have dogs, but bring more people.
So
there
this has
you
been
go.
going on for a couple of years. What do people say to you about the event after
Yeah.
the fact?
After the first one, people were super excited. The photos were amazing. I think any experience that you can, have a really fun time with your dog is great. And so this is a very unique experience, and we're super proud to partner with Purina to bring unique experiences that bring people and pets closer together.
Were there any highly unusual dogs last time?
That's a good question. I don't know what a highly unusual dog
I was
is.
wondering that too.
Yeah.
What
Not
is
that
a
it's a
highly
bad
unusual-
question.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what would be
Well,
an
sometimes
unusual
it's like a
dog?
dog that you don't see as much, or maybe a dog that has a unique haircut. Have you seen the cats that have like the haircut that looks like a lion? Have you seen
No.
that? Oh, it's
No.
like kind of wild. I didn't know. Like sometimes they're very like long haired dogs, or like a Great Dane or a Saint Bernard, like just a giant dog. Just I don't know.
Yeah,
Any dogs
definitely
that
some
kind of
Great
stand out.
Danes.
Those things are like horses.
They're humongous. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do people put their dogs in costumes?
We did have some dogs in costumes. That is
Okay.
highly encouraged. We had some standard poodles that were dyed city colors, so that was
See,
pretty unique.
That's unusual.
You could dye your pet?
Yeah.
You could dye your pet.
Oh, it's so
Hair
okay.
dye.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Right. Right.
Like
Hair
an
dye.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's safe for pets.
They make pet safe dye.
They do. I
Yeah,
didn't
'cause
know anything about
they
that.
make pet safe shampoo.
Yeah.
Well,
Anybody who's cleared out their shower to give their dog a bath and then forgotten to put stuff back in has taken a shower with
How
dog
does
shampoo.
Petey-
We've all done it.
how does and a lot of dogs don't like being bathed. How does Petey do with that?
Petey loves it, honestly.
Really?
We take him very regularly. He enjoys it.
Does
This is-
PD have a favorite toy? My mom's dog, Francis, has a blanket that is his girlfriend.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know if PD has a favorite toy or girlfriend.
I don't know about favorite. We have a collection of soccer balls, as you would expect,
Yeah.
that he plays with on a daily basis. So that's probably the right answer.
So Petey is at every game.
He's at every game.
What are his duties during game day?
Yeah, usually on game day, you can see him bit-bopping around the stadium. We take a lot of photos, meet a lot of people, get a lot of pets out on Lufuse Plaza. Then we head into the stadium. But yeah, we just visit people and bring joy.
I actually did see him opening day.
Yeah.
Standing out by the Clydesdales when they were out there.
Yeah.
So I had.
Does PD have merch?
Oh yeah,
PD. So we did a plush giveaway that's very
Yeah.
coveted. But yeah, I hear there might be some PD things coming in. But yeah, you can get a dog jersey so that you can match PD. That's probably the best merch out
Yeah.
right now.
That's awesome.
Oh great.
I think all joking aside, I really think the newsroom needs a therapy dog. I've been pushing for this because the news is usually bad. Like, it's depressing. There's so much sadness. There's so much suffering. There's so much pain out there. And especially like the newsroom, the reporters, where that's what they're absorbing all day long. I think we need a therapy dog in the newsroom because it really is. I mean, it is science. It is proven that animals can be healing.
And I know a great place where you can get one.
We do.
I do too.
You need to talk to Maria. She's a real sap when it comes to animals. We can get Maria in on it.
We've got hundreds to choose from.
We might have. Yes, Maria might leave here with 2 dogs today if you get in touch with her. Is she here? We'll
I know. I
find
wanted her to meet.
We'll find
Katie.
her.
Yeah.
So Care STL. Again, the website is icarestl.org. icarestl.org. And Pups on the Pitch is happening Sunday the 22nd. It's from 5:30 until 7 o'clock. Tickets are on sale right now. stlcitysc.com/pups. So this sounds like a really fun event.
Yep.
Bring your pup to the ballpark or to the stadium. It'll be great. Guys, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Much. Thank you.
Ken Early, Director of Community Relations with City SC, and Elisa Bauer, Development and Marketing Manager for Care STL, with us on Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Saving money is hard, but what's worse is when you save all year, hoping to use that money for a nice vacation, and then your AC unit dies and that money is gone. Now imagine yourself in retirement. You've saved a nice amount, hoping to use it for fun. But every time you take money out of your 401k, you get hammered in taxes. It's a sad fact, but your number one expense in retirement may not be cruises and trips. It could be taxes. At the All Financial Group, we believe in keeping more of your money where it belongs, with you. Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Tuesday, March 10th and Thursday, March 12th. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. You must qualify to attend. Call today to reserve your spot, 636-230-8824, or go online to yourmoneymattersstl.com. And services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents nor representatives may give any tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions. So it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than $2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals and Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarter set, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
I don't want to do this. I just want to go hang out with Petey.
Petey was adorable.
I'll tell you what, I will back off the whole thing with Cash, the Clydesdale, if I can have Petey. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
I think it's way too much to ask.
So, Amy, you may know that the World Baseball Classic is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, once the event is happening, I think it can be very exciting. I love seeing players really care about the games they are in, the atmosphere, and some of the countries that are participating, when they are in front of their home crowds, people are going absolutely crazy for these games. And it is so much fun to watch. Well, right now they're in pool play, and you have to meet a certain threshold. And I'm not going to go over the permutations because they're kind of confusing at the moment.
Okay.
And to explain them over the air would not go well. But Mark DeRosa, who was a former Cardinal, played a handful of games here in St. Louis. He played with the Cubs. He's been, I think, with the Dodgers. He's been all over the place and had a long baseball career, network analyst on MLB Network, but he is serving as the manager of this team. And he did an interview on MLB Network earlier yesterday and said this.
It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our tickets punched to the quarterfinals, because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. So the way the schedule lines up, this is an important game for us. Nolan McLean will start. He's on the bump and he's good to go. He's an absolute beast, and I expect him to throw the heck out of him.
Okay, so what you heard Mark DeRosa say is that the United States, by virtue of their wins and the runs scored and all of that, had already punched their ticket to the quarterfinals, which meant the game they played against Italy did not matter yesterday. And they ended up losing that game by a considerable margin. They lost by 7 runs.
Okay.
Here's the problem. Mark DeRosa was incorrect. And they were not already punched to go to the quarterfinals. They still had to qualify. So he got it wrong. What's the problem with this? Well, a bunch of the best players were benched, like Alex Bregman and Bryce Harper. And I mean, Clayton Kershaw did get up and start warming up, but he didn't play some of the best players the team has because he thought they were already moving on to the next round.
So How did nobody catch this?
Well-
How did nobody correct him when he made that statement at the presser or notice that he was benching all of his best players? So none of the players, none of the management, because it's not just one manager. There is a whole team of coaches and managers.
Yeah, I don't really know how that happened.
And they
but that
all missed it.
So he was doing an interview with Matt Vasgersian and Harold Reynolds on The Hot Stove, which is a show on MLB Network. And yeah, nobody said, well, wait, hold on, wait a minute. You're not in yet. You're not through. You still have to qualify for it. And he did not. So nobody corrected him. And he went with it. And so the game today between Italy and Mexico is a very big deal. So for the United States. And it's very possible they miss out on quarterfinal play.
Wow. That would
But
be a
it's just
huge upset.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm like I said, I am not so into the World Baseball Classic that I am mad about this. This is just me personally, but I know a lot of people do care about it. I don't. I am more focused on the upcoming MLB season, right? And as I've said before, I would prefer the players on my team, especially if my team has the prospects of being pretty good. You know, and the Cardinals are in a different place right now. But if my team was going into the regular season and was the division favorite or, you know, picked to go to a World Series, I want all my players in camp. I want them being monitored by the coaching staff from my team and for the manager, especially the pitchers, because if pitchers are throwing, you know, if they're throwing high leverage, which means stressful innings, and they're really, really trying, they may not be doing the work physically they need to do to get in shape, in actual game shape. It's kind of like not warming up and then just running. You know, you can lead to injury. And so that's kind of why I don't really care for the World Baseball Classic. But this is crazy. The fact that he messed this up is really insane.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And I think if you're Italy, I would be a little offended that Team USA is benching all of their players because they think we're going to be a pushover.
Yeah. Well, that's why they beat us. It was 8-6 final.
Il K di Greg Weissert, l'Italia fa la storia, l'Italia batte gli Stati Uniti al World Baseball Classic.
I like that,
Was-
the World Baseball Classic.
Man, the people from the South are getting harder and harder to understand.
Gordon Graceffo is on that team.
That's right. Italy won 8-6. They were up 8-1 at one point in the game. And
Okay.
Italy is undefeated so far.
So the World Baseball Classic came into existence in 2006. And we always talk about, like with the Olympics, for instance, in the NHL, of course, the players want to play and they are playing hard. They're playing with an enormous amount of passion, patriotism. That also means injuries are going to happen. They have happened. They did happen. So the players want to play. The owners, not so much, but they've allowed it. But here's the thing: who came up with the World Baseball Classic?
Major League Baseball.
But why? If the owners is Major League Baseball, they came up with it knowing the owners would hate this.
Because there's a lot of money in growing the game overseas.
So who is Major
Just
League
like
Baseball?
that's why the NFL. It's the same reason the NFL's playing games in Barcelona and Dublin.
But those are
and
regular season
London.
games.
Right, but it's when you play overseas,
Mhm.
when you take your sport overseas, that's what grows the game.
So why did Major League Baseball decide to have an extra season, extracurricular extra season tournament during spring training instead of just moving regular season games overseas like the NFL does? And I guess when I picture Major League Baseball, whoever those people are, I picture the owners having a lot of say.
Well, they do, but this is ultimately better for the entire sport.
So the owners
Because
came
you're-
up with this.
And the reason they do it with countries competing against each other is there are so many countries around the world that do have actual real baseball being played. It's not like football. You really can't find a football team in England. They're all playing soccer. So you have to bring the sport to them because they don't really have it there already. And there's a lot of country pride. Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Japan, Korea. They love baseball. So they want to compete against Americans and those that are supposed to be the best in the world. That's why they do it. So the way it is today, if Italy wins, then the U.S. also advances. Mexico, if they win, they advance. Now, I said I wasn't going to explain it, but if there is a 9-inning game, the United States will advance if Italy gives up 5 or more runs and loses. You following me? If there's a 9-inning game, Italy advances if they lose but give up 4 or fewer runs. Confused?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want a low-scoring game.
This guy should
you want a low-scoring game.
His roster.
I know. If they're going to be there, then just play them.
Just play them.
Anyway, that's very funny that he didn't know what was happening. He's leading the team. You know who knows
this crew?
There's a guy who knows everything that's happening. It's Dave Simons.
He's great.
He's the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. We have a new inflation report. We'll get his thoughts on that and what's going to happen moving forward with the war in Iran. Dave Simons is next on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
All right. We had someone text in saying that 10 miles from our studio, it is 46 degrees and raining, not cloudy and 62 like it was, and 62 like it was just reported. Here's the thing. I think 10 miles must be different because it is 60 degrees downtown and cloudy, not raining yet downtown. I stuck my hand out the window. Pretty warm out there, but I know those cold temperatures are coming in quickly. We've already hit the high today of 63, so we'll continue to drop. Windy, maybe some rain and a thunderstorm, a low of 33 tonight.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. I'm joined by my friend and St. Louis real estate expert, Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria, everyone knows you for your guaranteed sold program, but you also help your sellers get multiple cash offers, right?
That's right. Some sellers are looking for speed, certainty, and to avoid repairs and open houses. I just helped a family in December to sell their parents' estate. They chose me because I offered 4 cash offers at our first meeting, which gave them options picking the best cash offer. Whether it's multiple cash offers or my guaranteed sold program, my sellers are always in control to sell fast and for the most money. It's my guarantees and my buyers in waiting program that set me apart from other realtors.
If you're ready to make your move without the hassles, guaranteed, call Gloria Liu right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Tax season is here and Missouri families are already seeing the real impact of the Working Families Tax Cut Act. House Republicans are delivering real results for hardworking Missourians. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, the bill is projected to raise wages in Missouri by about $3,000 to $6,000 over the next 4 years. That's more money for groceries, gas, and greater security for your family's future. In Congress, I'm working to protect working families, strengthen our economy, and ensure you are keeping more of your hard-earned money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for Burn Balance Complex, which is the latest tool you can find at supplement superstores. It is top of the line. This is a complete metabolism system, not just a fat burner. So you get the metabolism boost, all-day focused energy with no jitters or crash. You get help with appetite control and cravings, and it'll reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels. It is a fantastic tool, especially for those who don't want prescriptions or injections. So get out to supplement superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
It's Cardinals preseason exhibition play today as they face the Nationals. Pregame 11:55, first pitch 12:05, and you can hear the game streaming on Cardinals.com.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX, and we do have the Gas House Gang at 12. Bernie Miklasz and me will be with you from 12 until 1. Right now, we are going to the guest line. Partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, Dave Simons, who is with us every week, joins us again. How's it going, Dave?
Doing well, Chris. How are you and Amy?
We're doing okay. We're steady, just like the inflation report. So what does it mean? What does the 2.4% mean? And how might that be affected moving forward? Because my understanding is it doesn't really include the time period after the Iran war started.
That's correct. You know what? Interestingly, the market is paying pretty much no attention to that report for two reasons. Number one, it was right in line with expectations. So the market wasn't surprised with either a hotter number or a cooler number. And to your point, Chris, it's being overshadowed by all the headline news regarding the Iranian war and all the subsequent issues related to that, price of oil, price of gas, all of that. So the market's taking it in stride. I always look at the bond market. The bond market tends to be more affected by an inflationary number, and it's barely budging today. So it's like, no big deal. What's the latest headline on the Iranian war? That's what the market's doing right now.
But those headlines definitely change. Like, how does the market interpret the headlines when I think it seems even experts or those within the administration are interpreting the headlines differently?
This is really the conundrum that we're all under as investors, both professional and amateur alike. Let me tell you something. Back in the early 90s, when I got into this business, there was no manual that said how you should react when the president tweets in real time. I mean, that never existed. So we're all kind of learning this together. So to have that kind of power over the markets, and he recognizes that, as do all presidents, as do all people of any kind of influence. If they want to jawbone the markets one way or the other, all they have to do is spit out a particular comment. And that's what we got on Monday. Let me tell you something. Monday morning, when I woke up and opened my laptop and it said oil approaching 120 a barrel and the Dow is set to open down more than 1,000 points, I thought, okay, here we go. By the end of the day, oil was back at about 90 and the Dow finished higher about 230 points. And it was all because you may recall the video of President Trump there in the entry door into Air Force One, and reporters were asking him questions, and he basically was saying, oh yeah, this war isn't going to go on much longer. I said 4 or 5 weeks, maybe not even that long, where things are looking good and we'll wrap this thing up. That's what did it. That's what caused it. The markets have since reset a little bit since then, but overall, let's give the market credit. Stock market, bond market, it has handled all of this day-to-day news pretty well.
Is it more difficult to figure out what to do or to predict what the market is going to do because there is a person, and this is just the reality of it. I know that some people will be upset when I say this, but it's just the reality. There is a person in office who, when he speaks, what he says matters, but he is frequently saying one thing 1 minute and then the next minute saying something completely different, and sometimes even in the same sentence. So is it difficult then to predict what's going to happen because there's a volatility to when he speaks?
Yeah, that's why, Chris, you do not want to be a day trader. I'm not a big fan of that kind of investing anyway. This is all about patient, long-term investing. If that's who you are, and I hope you are, then this is really meaningless. In fact, I was just reading an article yesterday about someone saying, well, the market's rigged now because of what's happening. The big boys and girls can trade millions of shares in a nanosecond, and they're able to trade as soon as Donald Trump tweets or says something. And that's true. But so what? That's my response. Let Trump be Trump. You be you as investors. If fundamentals will always win out in the end. So if Home Depot is having certain earnings reports that are good or bad, and you're thinking about buying the stock or you hold it, ultimately that's not going to be affected by what the president says about a war, about oil prices. It may affect it that day because of the emotions of the market and what's being caught up on Wall Street. But ultimately, that stock will get to where it's going to be, if it takes weeks, months, or whatever. So this is really a testament to long-term investing, buy and hold, not necessarily buy and hold forever. There are times to pare back or sell or whatever, but buy and hold still works. For people who are trying to trade through this, good luck. You'll probably regret it.
Dave, this is a little bit more local, and it's above my pay grade to know what the fallout or the repercussions would be. But there's a proposed constitutional amendment to eliminate the state income tax in Missouri. Yes. Now, this amendment would also allow lawmakers broad power to expand the state sales tax. What are your thoughts on this? It's kind of, in some ways, basic econ, like Econ 101, but then also we don't exactly know how that will work in the state of Missouri because we're not Florida. We're not Wyoming. We're not South Dakota.
Yeah, so this has so many political ramifications, right? And you just mentioned some of the states that don't have a state income tax, Texas being another one. So politicians in other states see what's happening. Hey, look at all these states. They're getting this mass of movement of citizens to their state. And one of the draws is the fact that they don't have any income taxes. So I get it. My whole thing is, though, you eventually pay for it some way. How? You can't give up tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue and think that you're still going to provide all the services that we've been accustomed to in any particular state. So do you raise property taxes? Do you raise sales taxes? How do you make up for that lost revenue? You have to. That's the big debate. I get a little outside of my lane talking about social issues, but a lot of folks rightfully point out that sometimes this can really hurt the poor among us, especially if you're raising sales tax, because on a percentage basis, it affects them more. But we'll let the experts kind of figure that out. But I'm not surprised by this, Amy. I think a lot of states are looking at this because they see it as a pretty popular political point.
It's we're not quite sure what to think of it either. We did talk about it at the beginning of the show.
We saw that Kansas did it and then reversed course.
Yes,
that's right. Does it, and from your perspective, does it matter if it's a state that has a large tourism industry? Because a lot of these places that we're talking about do. Florida, for example, Texas,
Alaska.
People go there. And it's nothing against the state of Missouri. I mean, I live here, but I understand people aren't just coming to Missouri for vacation.
Yeah, so I was just in Texas and I got my little bill of staying at the hotel down there. And it's like, oh, there's this stadium tax, which of course we've had in St. Louis. There is a tourism tax. There is a this tax. There is a that tax. I'm like, okay, you don't have certain taxes that Missouri has, but you're still collecting the revenue. So it really is a shell game. And that's where the politics come in. People will start to defend their own little fiefdom and say, well, you can't tax over here because that will hurt my constituents. Go tax those people. Well, you can't tax over here. That's going to be the shell game that will have to be discussed in Jefferson City. I like that it's being discussed. I think it can work. I've seen it work in other states. I just don't know, though, that Missouri necessarily will see quite the same benefits, but I could be wrong about that.
When you look at the K-shaped economy that we've talked about over the past couple of months, Do you see that situation exacerbating, or is it kind of at a stasis right now where it's not getting worse?
You know, Amy, I was just thinking about this the other day, and I thought, is the letter K really the best way to describe what's happening? And if I can, expand this a little bit, I see it as almost more like an E, but not a traditional E, where the top line of the E is slightly going up. The bottom E, the poorest among us, slightly going down in relative terms. And then there's the middle class that's stuck. And that's not really moving in one direction or another. I'm going to play with that. I'm probably going to go online and say, is there like a Greek letter that looks like that? There might be. But I think that's the way to describe it. So the gap is still widening. And so I'm incorporating this whole point that there is a middle class. Not everybody is on either one of those K lines.
Mm-hmm.
And the middle class is just kind of going along with inflation. They're doing okay, but they're not seeing the big majority of the gains that we've seen economically and frankly in the market the last number of years.
A quick question on the U.S. dollar strength. Where are we right now with that?
Well, the dollar, this is a great question. So many people over the last number of years have gotten into these conspiracy theories that the dollar is going to crash. And typically those people are trying to sell you something like a gold newsletter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The dollar is going to crash, or it's all going to be a digital dollar, and the government's going to raid banks and take over your cash and make you use a digital dollar. And it's all a bunch of hogwash. It's nonsense. This is proof of what I've been saying. Since the Iranian war started, the dollar, which had been declining in value, which is good, it was a little overvalued, I welcomed it, all of a sudden has strengthened. Why? Why during this war has the dollar all of a sudden become the go-to currency again? Because we are still seen as the stable government of all the world, the most stable currency. We are still the reserve currency of choice. When geopolitics fires up around the world and people start to get concerned, they flood to safety in the financial markets. And when it comes to currency, guess what it is? It's the US dollar. Guess what the financial markets are? They're housed in the United States of America. So all of this talk about how China is going to sell all their dollars and all their bonds, they would never do all of that because they need us as much as other countries. That's why you're seeing the dollar go up, because of the fires that are around the world right now.
So Dave Simons, turns out you were a victim of the partial government shutdown, huh?
Oh my God.
What happened?
So we get there Sunday morning. My wife and I were down visiting my daughter and son-in-law who live in Houston. And we were flying back on Sunday, and there was no news on anything that was going to hit. So we got there in plenty of time. We got to the airport at 8:30 for a 10:15 Southwest flight. We saw lines outside of the airport and thought, what the heck is going on? Long story short, we find out, it's a 3 to 4 hour wait to get through security. We thought, excuse me? And we tried it. We thought, well, maybe it's wrong. Maybe no. After waiting in an hour and barely budging, we knew that we were going to miss the flight. So basically what ended up happening is after I got to the side, opened my laptop, made calls, got online, looked at other airlines, we ended up driving to the north side of town to the George Bush Intercontinental Airport. And instead of Southwest at Hobby, we ended up flying home on United, and we got into bed at 1:30 in the morning on Monday. So apparently Hobby still has this. But I will say this from a political standpoint, I guess it was probably split between Republicans, Democrats, independents, whatever. But everybody there at the airport saying one thing: we are so tired of our politicians and the government. If they're not paying people like the TSA, they shouldn't be paid. And if they weren't paid, this thing would be fixed. And I said, can the preacher get an amen? Because that's exactly right.
Well, Dave Simons, we're glad you made it back.
Thank you. So glad to finally be back.
Although, you can connect from anywhere, so it wouldn't matter to us if you're in Texas still. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Yeah.
I have talked to you from other places. That's
right.
Absolutely true.
Dave, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Amy. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
Dave Simons is the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. and he's with us every week on KMOX. That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. This is 104.1 FM KMOX.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
St. Louis's unofficial holiday is almost here. It's Cardinals opening day, Thursday, March 26th. And KMOX's Kegs and Eggs, presented by Budweiser, is back. This year with a new twist. You don't need a ticket to enjoy KMOX's live broadcast at Cardinals Nation inside Ballpark Village, featuring Cardinals alumni, front office personnel, special guests, and so much more. First come, first served. Doors open at 9 a.m. Celebrate this hometown holiday with Dirt Cheap and Budweiser. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. Dr. Jean Wang, a WashU Medicine gastroenterologist at Siteman Cancer Center.
Once you're 45 and over, even if you're not having symptoms or even if you don't have a family history, we recommend everyone get screened for colorectal cancer because everyone is at risk. Everyone is at risk, even if you're not having symptoms.
This is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and for more information, you can visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Save big on everything when you shop at Menards. Upgrade your kitchen today with Clearview Cabinetry. We offer a great selection of finishes made with the finest materials and built to withstand life's sticky messes. They provide features like soft closed doors and drawers, and with cabinet accessories to match your unique style. View our selection of Clearview Cabinetry on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find plenty of great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate. Evans is a proven fighter and the only candidate for U.S. Senate with guts and know-how to get the job done. As an attorney, she took on China and corporate criminals. Jeannie Evans won billions for working families. As senator, Evans will fight and win for you. She'll work to cut taxes and lower the cost of living. Evans believes that keeping Illinois safe will take more than just wishful thinking. It takes courage, and Jeannie Evans has the record to prove it. Evans will always be tough on crime. She'll hold China accountable for trafficking fentanyl and stealing our personal data. Jeannie Evans puts America first. A proven fighter. Conservative outsider Jeannie Evans for U.S. Senate.
I'm Jeannie Evans, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jeannie for Illinois.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Martzgors, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
My mom had a standalone Mind's Eye radio for about 20 years while she was progressively getting more blind from glaucoma. It kept her so well informed. She loved the news. She loved the books being read. It provided her companionship. Thank you so much for providing this service for the blind.
That is Beth with a voice message on the Odyssey app, who is referring to our interview with
thank you.
Megan and Luke from Mind's Eye, which helps people who are blind consume sporting events. And like Luke, who is in high school, he's basically broadcasting the parades. He's doing the St. Patrick's Day parade down here in St. Louis on Saturday. So it's
nice.
pretty cool. That's a really cool organization.
So I have a weather update. We've got the window open in Studio B here because we're having HVAC issues. So I read that text at 10 miles from your station. It is raining and 46 degrees, not cloudy and 62 like it was just reported just now. Well, I have no doubt that it is 10 miles from the station, 46 and raining. But for whatever reason, the weather pattern has not hit us in the same way. You know, Alderwoman Shamim Clark Hubbard.
Heard of her.
Heard of her. You know her. She's our good friend.
She's a great friend
of the show.
She stopping by.
Yep. Well, she texted and said where she is. She was west St. Louis City and then was closer to U City.
Yeah.
She said it was pouring down rain. Now, it's spritzing here, and we did have the wind gust in, but it's still 58 outside Studio B. And I even double checked too with location weather, and it was 57 on my phone, 58 with AccuWeather. And it spritzed, but we didn't really get the downpour that it's wet.
For about 5 minutes, it was coming down fairly heavy out the window
and
here.
It kind of spritzed. And so whatever is happening, it's definitely happening more west than it is downtown right now. But again, it's going to hit our whole area because on Total Information AM this morning, I think it was maybe AccuWeather that said in Columbia, Missouri, it was pouring down rain and the temperature was dropping. So it's coming. It just has not hit downtown yet in the same way that it's hit the western parts.
And there were parts south of us that still had a tornado watch in effect until noon today. You can, if you're listening on 1120, you can still in these areas still pick us up, but it's not the immediate St. Louis area.
Wildwood is 51. So that's pretty far west. But how this weather rolls in, it's going to hit all of us. It just, downtown, it's spritzy.
So whatever, just be very careful out there.
Be very careful.
And we want you to use our call and crab line. We want you to call and crab at us. It could be about us if you want. Doesn't matter to me. Or it can be about something that happened to you and you've been trying to get off your chest and have nobody to hear you. We are here to hear you. Or it could be about the bad drivers out there. And I'm telling you, when it looks like this outside and there's a little bit of wet on the roads, y'all people in this state cannot drive.
You've been so mean. Just lay off of us, man.
Well, drive better, and I will.
It's raining and 55 in Baldwin. If
you want to call and crab about the bad drivers, you could do that too. Right on the Odyssey app. You can even text and crab if you want at 314-436-7900. Also, the Barch Madness tournament is going on. Have you nominated the best bar in the St. Louis area to us yet?
Probably.
If you haven't done it, you better do it like right now. Right now.
Yeah, because we only have 500 bars on the list.
It is hour 3 of the show, and it is next on KMOX.
This is an important message for anyone struggling with $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans. Due to ongoing inflation, job loss, and the rising cost of living, many Americans are facing overwhelming credit card balances. If you're drowning in credit card debt, you may qualify for powerful debt relief options currently being offered by National Debt Relief that can significantly reduce what you owe. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a debt consolidation loan. You could qualify for this debt relief option and only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. Act now to see if you qualify. With thousands of 5-star reviews online and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, National Debt Relief has helped over 1 million consumers with their debt that qualified for this relief option. So don't wait. Call the Debt Reduction Hotline now. Dial 800-428-5757. 800-428-5757. That's 800-428-5757.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. All one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If it's cold outside, the team at Morelli Tuck Pointing is still busy. During colder months, Morelli can inspect any exposed brick inside your house. If your basement has a stone or black wall, Morelli can remove the worn-out mortar from that wall and replace it with new mortar. This tuck pointing work will reinforce your foundation, prevent water from entering your home, and thwart pests. This is a great time to get the inside of your garage inspected, and the same goes for your brick or stone fireplace. I've used Morelli Tuck Pointing to repair the chimneys, walkways, and walls of 2 homes here in St. Louis. The Morelli bids are fair, their crews are super polite, and they clean their job sites. Don't take my word for it. Check out the reviews on Google. Winner of the BBB Torch Award and the Next Door Neighbor Fave Award, 35 years in business, an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 11 o'clock and we have rain in the region, 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis now. I'm Debbie Monterey. And tornadoes killed at least 2 people in northwest Indiana and leveled buildings in Kankakee, Illinois. A volunteer fire department in that area says fewer than 10 people were hurt in overnight storms. The flood warning is canceled for the Merrimack River at Valley Park and Eureka. There's a warning from the United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination about what it calls the growing racist hate speech by President Trump.
In an urgent report, the watchdog cites the harmful stereotypes and the use of derogatory language targeting Hispanic, African, or Asian people. It says such people have been portrayed as criminals or as a burden by politicians and influential public figures at the highest level of the state party, particularly by its president.
That's CBS News correspondent Allison Keyes. The UN watchdog says the hate speech combined with President Trump's immigration crackdown is causing grave rights violations. Richard Kahn, the accountant for Jeffrey Epstein, is sitting for a deposition about Epstein's finances in the illicit sex ring operation Epstein operated with Ghislaine Maxwell. Before going into the meeting, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, laid out what some members want to hear.
It looks like a lot of the expenditures went for tuition for college, for a lot of expenses for some of the different victims.
The price of gas and diesel steadily rising since the U.S. war with Iran began. According to AAA, the current average price for diesel in Florida is $4.96 a gallon. Compare that to just a month ago when it was $3.55. Stephen Thompson drives several hundred miles a week.
Every dollar counts when you're moving heavy freight pretty far, so it's obviously had a pretty big impact on that.
Someone who isn't a city employee may have been getting free parking on the city's dime. St. Louis Magazine reports a woman personally connected to City Treasurer Adam Lane has regularly parked outside her South City boutique using a city-issued exemption tag, and 2 tickets issued to that vehicle were voided. No comment from Lane's office. From the KMOX business desk, the Department of Justice reaching a tentative settlement with Live Nation, the concert giant that includes Ticketmaster. The settlement includes a $300 million payout from Live Nation to participating states, a portion of which will go to disgruntled customers. But KMOX legal analyst Brad Young says some states are not satisfied with the settlement.
And it's not just blue states. It's not like a red and a blue, right and a left situation, because you have states like Illinois and New York, but also you have Tennessee and Ohio that are part of the state group trying to get Ticketmaster broken up as a company.
In a statement, the Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul said the settlement does not adequately remedy the negative impact of Live Nation's actions.
We'll have some rain until mid-afternoon. Before it ends, it'll stay cloudy. It'll become windy and it will turn cooler. Temperature will end the day in the mid-40s. Clearing tonight and much colder, low 31. Tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, high 56. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
As promised, the temperature continues to drop. We started out about 4 this morning at 68 degrees. It's now 55 and rainy. The weather sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. It's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chill, light on the side as the eagle becomes.
Well, we've been talking about screens in classrooms, phones in classrooms, and this time around, ed tech, which is somehow the people in charge have decided that we should get rid of textbooks and hand all the kids laptops or tablets. It's become a pretty, well, let me rephrase this. It is a nationwide booming industry, billions and billions of dollars. I've got the numbers. I need to pull up the receipt because right now I'm trying to remember it, but I have the receipt of maybe in 2015, 2014, it was like $6 billion. Mm-hmm. And in the next couple of years, it's going to hit like $560 billion. So it's not just for the kids. It's not just benevolence. There's a lot of money involved in ed tech. And more and more reports, whether it be in The Atlantic, the New York Times, New York Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, are coming out with, reporting on data saying maybe ed tech isn't all it's cracked up to be. Maybe we swung too far in the direction of screens and we shouldn't have eschewed textbooks and papers and pencils. And Matt, you have a lot of friends who are teachers.
I do.
You were talking to them about this.
I did. I got some man on the street audio from our teachers. Wanted to sort of get their opinion on ed tech, how they currently use technology in their classroom, whether they're pro, anti, or how do they adapt to it.
And quick question, because teachers who have been teachers for decades have seen the evolution of education in schools, and they've seen the onslaught of phones and ed tech. How old are the teachers that you've talked to?
These teachers are 26, 27 years old, my age.
Okay, so pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually something we'll get into because some of these teachers have only learned to teach with technology. So to take that technology away and to use printed materials only would be a huge culture shock, I think.
Yeah, they don't know any different because at 26, 27, you've been teaching for less than a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. So, I want to clarify that none of these teachers I spoke with acted like technology is evil or anything, because in fact, a lot of ways it facilitates instruction and it makes things easier for students to use. And it can be used for science experiments and simulations, but it's also as simple as Google Drive and Gmail and things like that they use every day. So I began by asking them sort of, what does the term ed tech mean to you? Mm-hmm. And this is what they said.
Tools, software, programs, applications that the school district will purchase from these companies meant to enhance learning, increase accessibility, or otherwise provide opportunities that couldn't be done on paper.
Whenever I hear EdTech or someone from EdTech companies coming to the school, I don't have a good reaction to that. I feel like they're just trying to get me to buy something, whereas I think that money would be better served in other places like teacher pay or school supplies, providing kids with better lunches, food, things like that.
Yeah, so there's mixed feelings, and we'll get that throughout this conversation. I think you'll notice that. But these teachers teach different subjects: language arts, science, government, econ. They teach 8th graders all the way up to juniors in high school. So I thought it was interesting how the different viewpoints, or how different their viewpoints can be depending on maybe what they teach, where they teach, the topics they teach. I just sort of asked the presence of technology in their classroom. They pretty much just told me that it's everywhere, as we expected. I mean, we might not have cell phones anymore, but there is still a screen within reach pretty much at all times.
It is ever present. Trying to do things without it is a lot harder than just using it.
I think I'd support getting rid of the one-to-one Chromebooks. If I just had like my own class set of something that I could use when I needed to, that would be way more efficient than them constantly having a Chromebook. It just creates more problems, I think, than it solves.
So a Chromebook is just like a Google laptop, and every student has their own personalized one that they carry with them throughout school. They take it back home with them. And when I was in high school, only 10 years ago, we had laptops, but they were like the classroom set. We didn't get to take them with us everywhere. So I thought it was interesting that one of them said, that technology is great, but they don't need to have it on them 24/7.
Yeah.
Did he give any detail as to what specific problems arise from having the Chromebook?
Yes. And so I actually asked them how is this technology being abused, and if they find themselves sometimes supervising the technology more so than teaching themselves. And they definitely do have problems with it.
Before we had this filter kind of software, it was a bit of babysitting going on. It's a lot of shutting down games and getting them back on track and things like that.
So it's very, very easy for them to go and watch YouTube videos or look up sports stats for their game that afternoon or do homework for another class, which is still educational, just not what they're supposed to be doing.
So games, sports. And one of them mentioned that there is, a monitoring software that allows them to keep an eye on students, but not every school has that. Not every teacher has that option. And I feel bad for those that don't.
It's interesting because even if you subtract the distraction / risk of accessing YouTube videos, of inappropriate sites or whatever, let's say the Chromebooks are locked down tight. So the only thing they can access is their online homework and their quizzes. And I've had a lot of experience with this as when before I started working here, I tutored a lot, and I tutored both traditional, public, private, and homeschool students. And with Chromebooks and with these laptops, even quizzes are a lot of, you go to a school specific site where you click like true or false. You click the definition of the word. Everything's clicking. Everything's a game. You're not writing. And what I have found personally, why I always, taught writing pen and paper, even we know, and it's science, that your neural pathways fire when you're writing by hand in a way that's much different than just clicking the right answer. And I mentioned different newspapers. This one's The Guardian, but for more than a decade, social scientists have been gathering data on this. Specifically, there's a Norwegian scholar. Her name's Anne Mangen, and she's been reporting on this for years. And she talks about the superiority of reading comprehension and retention on paper. And an article looking at this data says reading both expository and complex texts from paper seems to be consistently associated with deeper comprehension and learning across the full range of social scientific literature. And it goes on and on with even writing. The neural pathways are deeper. The way you comprehend it and remember it is deeper. And I would say that there's probably a fine line, and maybe you had this in college or high school, Ranj, where I studied with pen and paper, reading books, taking notes by hand in my notebooks, but then I would compose, like write essays by typing. I would, type my essays, but I studied by hand
Yeah.
with paper books.
Well, we didn't. I didn't have my own personal computer of any kind in college until I think my in my dorm or apartment.
Yeah.
For myself, I didn't have one until, oh gosh, I think it was a senior.
Oh yeah, I think
So
I think
it
I was
was
a
a-
family computer. We had the the big desktop. I had that.
Yeah,
in high
at
school.
home. In
Yeah.
high school, definitely. I
Yeah.
didn't have anything like that. I think I used my uncle's because he had one at his house, and so that's how I wrote term papers and that sort of thing. But in college, didn't have access to any of that, and there's a huge benefit to just being able to carry it around with you in a bag. I
Mhm.
mean, that's to have had this. I have a laptop I'm pointing to right in front of me. To have had this in college
Mhm.
would have been incredibly useful. But the other side of it is, I think it could have been really distracting too.
Yeah.
Because I learned like you did, where it was all reading out of paper books, handwriting with pencils, pens. That's how I
And
learned.
Brain development in college is so different than brain development in first grade.
Right.
First graders need to be writing by hand. My goodness, they're still learning how to write. You do handwriting, or at least you used to, in first grade, those fine motor skills. And your brain is growing and developing. And it's so plastic at that time, too, where you leaps and bounds of a first grader learning a second language is much better than I am learning a second language now. And so at that time, lean into pen, paper, reading books. Even my math, we had to transfer the problems by hand onto a worksheet. And that takes a level of concentration that is so different than just clicking yes or no.
I actually asked them about that and whether their students struggle with tasks or assignments that require pen and paper or physical books.
There are kids who I think struggle to do without the computers just in general, but to me, those kids are the ones who've grown up with unlimited screen access.
I think learning how to use a textbook, I used to teach freshmen, and the first week of school was let's learn how to use a textbook because they were used to digital tools where they could just control F and look for the word they needed instead of reading and digesting the information to figure out what is the main point and then summarizing it. So it was a learning curve, especially for younger students entering high school, to understand that it's okay to have to do things the long way.
They don't have the literal hand muscles built up to write longer than a couple of minutes at a time. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had them write and I said, you have to write for 5 minutes straight. Don't stop moving your pencil. And by the end of the 5 minutes, they were shaking their hands like, oh my gosh, that was so hard. Like my hand is on fire. And after 5 minutes is crazy, but they just haven't had to build those muscles, which is crazy.
So
wow.
I thought one of them made an important distinction that yes, students will struggle, but some are going to struggle more if they have kind of grown up with unlimited screen time. So that's also on the parents too. That's
That
not
is
just,
absolutely correct.
It's not just the school. It's how you're raised at home too.
Although, and I agree with you guys, but this is something maybe we can talk about tomorrow. There was a story about parents who are being really careful with screen time at home, and then their kids come home from kindergarten or first grade. I've got it. It's from the New York Times. Maybe we can hit on it tomorrow. The New York Times reported on this, where the kids come home and the parents don't allow screen time, but they know all these jingles and songs from YouTube, and they're saying, "Hey, Johnny, how do you know that song?" They're getting iPads at kindergarten, and it's just being used as like a babysitter, and the parents were furious.
Hey, that's a conversation we have all the time about parents who, if it's really on them to make sure their kids aren't on screens all the time. And yeah, it might be easier to do that. It's easier to occupy them if you just give them an iPad or a laptop and let them just be on that thing all day and all night. But if you don't want that, it's their responsibility. It's a parent's responsibility more than anything else.
We have a texter that said, a 314, what's sad now is students are not taught cursive handwriting anymore. Many kids in 6th and 7th grade don't know how to sign their name. This one was actually a New York Times story too, that it's something you don't think about is if you don't learn cursive, there are kids who don't know how to sign their names. They can print their names. And cursive is such a lost art. I'm assuming, I mean, obviously Ranj and I, we learned cursive. Matt, you were still learning cursive, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And
Well,
I know
this.
some are bringing it back.
I've never had good handwriting. I just wasn't good. And it was always pretty sloppy, and I could read it. And, I tried for teachers to be able to see it. But when I try to do it now, like I can still write and I take notes. But if I try to take notes in the way I took them in high school and in college, where it's just copious amounts of notes, if I try doing that, it looks, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh.
I don't, sometimes I write something down and I go, what in the hell is that? I don't remember. I can't tell what it is.
I do. I mean, you guys know me with I get made fun of. I'm holding it up on YouTube, my notebooks that are all torn up. But my goodness, peak handwriting for me was high school, like you. I look like a different person in high school.
I've got one last bit of audio I want to play for you guys. I asked the teachers if all the technology was thrown out the window, could you adapt to the old school, to printed materials and, I don't know, a whiteboard or chalkboard? I mean, some of them still have, obviously, paper tests and paper assignments and things like that. But if all that technology went out the window, could they adapt to the classroom without it?
I would love to be able to, but I mean, there are limitations. Like, we only have so much paper we can print off of. We don't have the money to buy books. So we do what we can.
Yeah. I think I could adapt really easily to a more traditional approach. There'd be some things that I think would be worse, just certain technologies that we just can't replicate in a different way.
So I think it would be a learning curve, both for me to change the speed at which I teach and the way I deliver.
So this is my 5th year. I've only taught with all of this technology. So as much as I wish we didn't use it as much, it scares me to take it away because I genuinely don't have the skills or the education to know how to teach without it. Because it's what I used in high school. It's what I was taught to use in college. It's what I was taught to use throughout my 5 years teaching. So I want to do away with it more, but I don't know how.
I think we're going to get to a point where we're going to have a good marriage between the two, between technology and more traditional ways of learning. There's going to be a rebound of some kind, a correction. And I don't know how it's going to happen or when. It feels like we'll reach some sort of breaking point where people go, okay, we can't keep going down this path with the same degree of intensity. We're going to have to pull back a little bit, and we'll find a good middle ground somewhere.
And just to put a cherry on top, the International Trade Administration estimates that by 2033, by the 2033-34 school year, ed tech could be over $800 billion.
That's the only thing
that's a concern.
That's the only thing that could be a problem, is if it ends up being a thing where there's just too much money in it. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX, the Gas House Gang at 12.
So on Saturday, as I mentioned, I got a facial, really the first real facial I've gotten as an adult. And I had a party right after, and there was no downtime, and my face was glowing. And I was so happy that I went to the party without any makeup other than just mascara. And I say that because I'm 42 and I'm really starting to pay attention to my skin. And I'm kind of intimidated by all the processes and treatments that are out there. I went to The Only Facial, theonlyfacial.com. Now, they have locations across the area: University City, De Pere, Clayton, Sunset Hills, Frontenac, and Creve Coeur, and the streets of St. Charles. You can book online. It's super easy. Theonlyfacial.com. Now, they go through their facial. They have all the steps. They do the same steps every time. And it's $125. That's it. No gratuity. It's all built in, so you don't have to be stressed about, oh, do I got to tip 10, 15, 20%? Is it going to be charged extra? Nope. It's $125 each time, and you will see progress. I can't wait to go back. I'm going back at the beginning of April, and I'm really starting to see a difference in my skin. It's a facial that's approachable for every woman. Theonlyfacial.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
This season, step up to the ultimate game day experience with Cardinals all-inclusive tickets. Enjoy a full buffet, complimentary bar, and unbeatable views inside Busch Stadium. It's great food with great company for every pitch, hit, and home run. Choose your experience in the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Professional Red Jacket Club, and more. See the game like a VIP with all-inclusive tickets. On sale now at cardinals.com/tickets.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for Burn Balance Complex, which is the latest tool you can find at supplement superstores. It is top of the line. This is a complete metabolism system, not just a fat burner. So you get the metabolism boost, all-day focused energy with no jitters or crash. You get help with appetite control and cravings, and it'll reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels. It is a fantastic tool, especially for those who don't want prescriptions or injections. So get out to supplement superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
We got our crabs.
Whoa, slow down, Chief.
We do. We have crabs. We asked people
Oh, the call and crab.
to call and crab, and the crabs are coming in. This is, I mean, they are.
I got you.
Here's one.
Yeah.
314. I want to get your opinion on this one. I am crabbing about people who honk as the light turns green. I am not going to jump out in the intersection that fast and get hit by the jerk who ran the light on yellow, which was actually red.
Okay. I'm not talking about going as soon as it turns green. And maybe what they are referring to is me, because I will give you a very brief period of time before it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
If your light turns green and I am sitting behind you and you haven't gone, you get a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, your car better start moving now. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not green, go, honk.
We were actually, when I learned how to drive, I was taught that when it turns green, wait a second and look both directions.
I'm giving you 2 seconds. I think I'm being really generous here.
Do you know what was scary? I was at an intersection, like a main road, yesterday. And there were 2 left turn lanes and 2 straight lanes. And every single person in the left turn lane, well, I was in one of them, and then to my right on the straight lanes, were looking down at their phones. Everybody was on, the person behind me was looking down, and I realized this is weird.
And
everyone was on their phone.
And I appreciate it when I happen to, because I'll do it at a stoplight too. I'll look at the phone sometimes, and I appreciate it if I get lost in it. If somebody gives me a little tap honk, a little beep, beep, hey, time to go. And I always, wave back at them like, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the assist. Because I wasn't paying attention and you got me back on track. So I appreciate you. And I think we would all be much happier on the road if we can at least do that much.
Another 314 talking about our teacher conversation. My granddaughter is learning cursive in 2nd grade at Mary Queen of Peace in Webster Groves, and she loves it. Shout out Mary Queen of Peace.
Maybe she could teach me because I still don't know how to do it well.
Maybe you could do one of those where you audit the class.
Audit?
Uh-huh. When you just sit in, you don't take the class, but you sit in and learn, but you don't get credit for it.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could do that. Although they probably wouldn't just... Why is this 50-year-old man sitting in this classroom right now?
Maybe don't go to Mary Queen of Peace. Maybe
I'm just going to sit here and watch if that's okay with you.
My God.
What a bad idea.
Jeez Louise.
That was your idea.
No, in retrospect, do that at community college.
We have a teenager from St. Peter's coming in who's participating on The Voice. The Voice was the same show our guy Neil Salsick was on.
That's right.
Neil from the Mighty Pines. He's fantastic. Liv Ciara is also great, and she will be joining us next on KMOX. But right now, here's a deal for new FanDuel customers. New FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. And here's how it works. You place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you're going to get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and more. And all this coming up with the NCAA tournament about to happen here very, very soon. You can even mix things up with the same game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel is going to give you a very easy way to do it and stay involved in the action. FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel, it's time to dance. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Must apply. Select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
So you talk rebuild. You want to put some faces on that rebuild. You want to put some figures, real live human beings. You want to be able to have them leading your parade, so to speak. And I think Weatherholt is that kind of player, and I'm pretty sure that Joshua Baez is that kind of player too.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
57 degrees, some light rain in the immediate area right now in St. Louis. Could have a later shower on as well, and a high of 61, low of 33 tonight.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Certified background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
Hi, it's Kevin Wheeler here with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Welcome back, Gloria. Now, for years now, you've been on KMOX helping families plan their next big move with your Guaranteed Sold program. So for those planning to sell their home this year, what's your best advice?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing,
Inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my guaranteed sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, if you want a realtor who will guarantee results, call the one that I trust. Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
It's Cardinals preseason exhibition play today as they face the Nationals. Pregame 11:55, first pitch 12:05. And you can hear the game streaming on Cardinals.com.
I didn't think you'd understand me. How could you ever even try?
That's the voice of our next guest here on the Chris and Amy Show. It is Liv Sierra, who has appeared on The Voice, and Liv is from the St. Louis area. In fact, lives in St. Peter. So Liv is here with mom and dad, and Liv participating in season 28 of The Voice here, and we are glad to have Liv in studio. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me. This is super exciting.
Well, thank you for joining us. I was watching the audition when the chairs turned.
Mm-hmm.
And you had said that you had been in the previous season where you went through your entire song and the chairs didn't turn.
Yeah.
Can you explain that feeling of the chairs not turning and then coming back and having the judges just boom, 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 turn around?
I was so shocked. I was shocked to even be on the show because what a lot of people don't know is that before the main audition on the main stage, there's a lot of auditions leading up to that. So there's a lot of, auditions online. There's like interviews you have with the producers and all this stuff. And then it's like the top however many people get to actually audition for the coaches on stage. And so I was just grateful in season 28 to be on the stage and to get to do that. And honestly, as I was performing, for some reason, I was just like, you know what? I don't know if they're going to turn. I was really proud of myself and really proud of the work I'd done on the song, because you get there, you get to LA, and you have to work on this song so much. And so I was like, I'm proud of the work that I've done on this song. But then when they didn't turn around for me, I was surprised that I held it together.
Yeah.
I told myself, I was like, okay, listen, if you don't get a chair turn, don't cry. I didn't think I was going to cry, but I thought that I was going to be kind of upset. But for some reason, they were talking to me and giving me, Snoop Dogg was talking to me, that's insane. And they were giving me all this feedback, and I was just happy. And I felt like there was something waiting for me, whether it was another opportunity music-wise or anything. I just left the stage feeling really just grateful that it happened. And then eventually I got called back for season 29. And I just felt so special because there was a lot of people that didn't end up getting chair turns last season, and they could have called anyone to come back, but they saw something in me enough to, call me back. And I felt really special. I was like, okay, so they actually want me to get a chair turn. I have to succeed this time. And so I worked really, really hard on a new song. One of the questions bits of feedback they gave me from last season was to pick a song that suited my voice.
Yeah.
And I sang Espresso last time, which was up tempo and a really fun performance song. But the second time I came back, I was like, okay, I got to bring it down. Let's tone down with the instruments and just have kind of a more vulnerable performance. And that's kind of what I did with We Can't Be Friends, which is the season 29 blind audition. And when they turned around, I remember my eyes were closed almost the entire time. And what you don't a lot of things, one thing that people don't know is that when they turn around, they make it's this big sound.
Yeah.
But when you're actually there, you don't hear it. So I was performing and my eyes were closed, and then I heard the crowd cheer. I was like, oh, they're hyping me up. And then I opened my eyes to see Kelly Clarkson and Adam Levine just turned around and I just immediately closed my eyes again. I was like, I think I might lose it if I look at them.
Right, it'd be so distracting.
Yes, yeah, but it was insane. And I remember I was like, I really don't want to cry on the show. I don't want them to get me at my bad angles, whatever. And I, whatever. And I kind of just let myself have a moment when I finished. I was like, okay, I've worked so hard. I came back and I did a song that suited my voice, and I feel like I should give myself a little moment to breathe. And then they were just giving me all this amazing feedback, and it felt so surreal.
So you're wearing the Team Kelly jersey. How'd you pick?
How did I what?
How did you pick? How'd you decide?
Well, they pitch, they give like really good pitches, and Adam, who has been there since the beginning of the show 29 seasons ago, he's a pro, so he was giving me all this amazing feedback, and I would have gone with either of them. They were both amazing, and I was just like, if I get a chair turn, I will be the happiest person in the world. But my top choice, I was like, if I had to pick, I would pick Kelly Clarkson 100% because she kind of started out in a similar environment. You know, she was on another singing show and she was young, and she kind of has that experience on her back of like knowing how to navigate the industry while being young. And I felt like I just immediately connected with Kelly. And also her pitch was really good about like, I can help you grow. I can help you, you know, find out what suits your voice more. And, you know, I immediately just connected with Kelly, and I was like, I got to pick Kelly. Like, she was my number one choice. So.
It's unbelievable. And that's interesting that you don't hear the big poosh when they hit the button and they turn around. Yeah. Because my first thought would be, I think I would like stop singing. You know, you get distracted and just stop singing. And
that's
kind of
probably why they don't do it. Because it would throw people off.
That would throw people off. Yeah. And you said that they reached out to you to come back for this season 29. Did you have to resubmit anything, or did they literally cold call, reach out and say, we want you back?
I was really surprised. They're like, you know what? We just want you to give it a second go. Wow. I mean, I did have to do like another interview kind of explaining like my growth from season 28, but I didn't have to go through all the other auditions and all that stuff. So
that's incredible. What a testament
I know.
To that you left a mark, you know, left an impression on them.
How are your classmates handling all this?
Well, the hardest part of all of this has been like keeping the secrets because my friends want to know every aspect of my life. They're like, okay, you're not in school currently, so what are you doing in LA? You know? And I'm like, okay, you just got to wait because I'm not the best at keeping secrets, but I was like, I cannot tell anyone this until it happens.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for me, but then eventually I had them over at my house when we watched the blind audition, and they were just so happy for me. They're like, you're going to win it. You're going to go to the end. And I was like, their support has been amazing because I don't really have at my school, I don't have like musical friends. I have like just regular amazing friends, but having them, even though they're not like, you know, musically, you know, having their support and knowing that they love doing what I love is just amazing.
Had you done a different type of show, like tried out for American Idol or anything like that?
I actually did. I tried out when I was 15 years old. Okay. And it was kind of the same process as The Voice. You had a few online auditions, and I made it past a couple of rounds. And then I remember like one audition right before one of the, you know, whether they decide you go on the show or not, I was like sick and I didn't sound good. And I was like, I don't know. And I think that actually happened. Like everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And I think that happened for a reason. Like I sounded sick. I didn't sound good, probably just because like that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. That wasn't what I was meant to be doing. I was meant to be on The Voice, you know? So
we've had one of our good friends here was on The Voice. I don't know how many seasons was Neil. Was it 4?
It might have been 3 or 4
3 or 4
years
seasons.
ago.
Neil Salsick, who's in a band here in St. Louis. Do you reach out to anybody else who participated, or you just kind of try to stay away from all of it and go about it by yourself?
As for past contestants, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, like Ruby Lee, who was on a few seasons ago. She was really young as well, and she had an amazing like journey on The Voice. Yeah. She ended up commenting on one of my posts. She was like, "Yeah, go Missouri," you know, because it's good to represent like your hometown. And I've had Kennedy Holmes.
Oh yeah, Kennedy.
She was on a few seasons ago. She liked one of my posts, so it's kind of like that support system of, because like Missouri, there's a lot of people there from LA, from New York, and it's like Missouri is one of those lesser known places that, you know, a lot of talented singers come from. So having a support system from those two who got really far, they both made it to the finale. I think, they both made it to the finale. It was just incredible. And also, you know, while you're there, you make such incredible connections with people. I have made friends from both season 28 and season 29. And the challenging thing about switching from season 28 to season 29 was that, you know, I had to leave all my friends because I had friends that had gotten chair turns. So it's like, I got to switch this entire mindset. But, you know, now I have great friends from last season and amazing friends from this season.
So the chair turn part, so the blind auditions, all of that happens earlier. And like you said, you have to keep that a secret. But then it gets to a point where it's live, right? And people are calling in and voting. Where are we in that process?
Well, this season they are not. They're doing. We've already filmed everything.
Okay.
So whether I advanced or not, we have filmed everything, which is a completely different format.
Yeah.
Which makes it honestly even harder to keep a secret because
Right.
I know what happens, but I can't tell anybody what happens. So that's a new format thing they're doing. They're still going to have voting. They're going to have voting from, they're going to invite past contestants to the show, past finalists, whatever, in the crowd for, I think, the semifinale and the finale. And they're going to vote who goes through to the next rounds.
So you play instruments too. You're
I
not
do.
just a singer.
Mm-mm.
And what did you just learn guitar recently?
Yeah, I did.
What do you mean recently? And did you teach yourself?
I learned about a year and a half ago. It was
Pretty recent.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. I'm proud of myself because it took me maybe 3 or 4 times. I would try and teach myself. It hurts your fingers so much to play. I would play 3 chords and I had just these indents. I'm like, why do I have these lacerations on my fingers? So it took me a few times to pull myself together and do it. But I learned it and I built up calluses on my fingers so it doesn't hurt anymore. But it's so fun because with the piano, I've been playing piano since I was 7. I took classical piano lessons. It's that's kind of hard to transport places if you wanted to just go somewhere and play.
Mm-hmm.
With the guitar, you can just take it. I played in the car sometimes. And it's just really relaxing.
That's incredible. Well, it's not a surprise. You're also a 4.0 GPA. Yeah. She's excelling in school. Sometimes I think, why does all the talent get to one person? Save some for the rest of us.
Oh, man.
Jeez Louise.
What can't you do?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much.
Well, who did you grow up singing? Did you grow up singing? And then what artists did you grow up singing?
Well, I've always, my dad, he's in a band and I've always looked up to him musically because he's been singing for a long time. He's had a band for a long time called Groove Thing locally in St. Louis. And I'm in it. Yeah. A few years ago, 3 years ago, my dad was like, do you want to come in and be the lead singer for one of the shows? And I was like, I don't know. This is a big opportunity here, but I took it. And that's really where I got my love for performing on stage. And as for what was the second question you asked me?
Yeah, did you what artists did you sing? If you were singing around the house or in the car, were there artists that you really loved?
Well, I've loved R&B for a long time. I love all genres now, but I remember there's this one Jennifer Hudson song from the Dreamgirls movie called I Love You, I Do. And I remember we would sing it in my house and march around the kitchen. It's the funniest thing. But Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson and a lot of art, Whitney Houston, the greats. I would listen to them. And I feel that's what inspired me to kind of try and push myself to be more of a powerhouse singer and belting and doing all these things. But then as I grew up, I discovered pop music and country music and, indie music and different kind of categories of music. And I feel that having such a diverse knowledge of music has helped me in every aspect of my journey on The Voice, writing original music, all that.
And singing at home is a lot different than doing it in front of people. So the first time you did, how was that?
Well, I remember the first show that I played, I was sick. I was sick through a lot of milestones in my life. I will tell you that. Yeah. I had this throat virus, or it was, I don't know. I remember it was at a father-daughter dance was the first gig, and that was really fun because I got to perform for people my age, which was really cool. But I pushed through it, and I felt in that moment, I was like, listen, if I can do it sick and enjoy it, then for the rest of my life, all the times that I'm not sick, I'm really going to have a good time.
Well, speaking of performing in front of people, when you did take the stage on The Voice, had you rehearsed on that stage? Did it feel like a new experience? Was it intimidating?
It was. I was among maybe 4 or 5 of really young people under 18, and being in that environment with these singers who are just so well seasoned and who have done gigs everywhere and in other countries and all these other amazing events, it was a bit intimidating. But it's listen, The Voice is all about having diversity, and whether you're an older artist, a well seasoned artist, or a younger artist who is kind of just what's it called, dipping your feet in the water and trying new things out. I kind of had that mindset of listen, there's people here that are better than me, that are different than me, but also I bring something different to the table because I'm younger. Everyone has different preferences with music, and everyone just brings something different to the table. And being young, it's a bit intimidating, but you kind of have to hold your own and not let other people tell you what to sing tell you who to be and all that stuff. So you kind of have to hold your own in that environment. But once I got over that initial fear of what are all these people going to think of me, I just had to become confident in myself. And after that, it went pretty well.
So as you mentioned, you're writing your own music. You have an EP out?
I do. I'm really excited about that. For the longest time, I told myself I couldn't write music. I just picked myself apart all the time. I'm like, okay, this song is trash. I'm going to throw it away. But there was eventually a time a few months ago, I was like, okay, listen, you're not going to get anywhere in life if you don't put something out, because, every song you write, you get better and better and better at it. So I eventually gathered, I wrote 10 songs and I gathered 4 of my favorites. And I worked with my dad, who produced my EP for me. And after I had put my heart and soul into writing it, and actually on one of my songs, the beginning, I recorded the guitar on it, which felt really cool because I just learned guitar, and all of these things. So it was really special getting to do that with my dad, and also getting to put my original music out there, knowing that just a few months prior, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this, because I don't know if I'm a good writer. But through the process of writing and producing this EP, it's you just got to realize that it just takes practice. And I ended up being really, really happy with how it turned out.
So the EP is called Out Loud.
It is
and
called
it
Out
can
Loud.
you can stream it.
It's everywhere. It's streaming everywhere right now.
Okay. Once you start making an incredible amount of money with this, you have to pay Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Dad's your producer.
Yeah,
you got to pay him.
I will.
Well, Mom and Dad have to be so proud. Mom and
Yep.
Dad are in the studio, and just the composure and maturity. We talked to a lot of people, and Liv, it's hard to believe you're only 16 years old. I mean, my goodness, you have a maturity, a composure above your years, beyond your years, and we're excited for you.
Thank you. It's just, this is crazy. All the publicity that I've got from this, and who knows what's next for me. It's crazy to think about, but I'm here and we'll see what happens.
You're probably not going anywhere. You're going to do great.
We'll see what happens.
So, Liv Sierra, good luck on The Voice.
Thank you.
And when we're done, if you want to tell us what happens and we won't tell anybody else, you can.
We'll see.
So
We'll
when
see.
the mics are off, you can tell us.
Well,
I wouldn't trust him.
Let's just stay. Just stay
Keep
tuned.
watching.
Next week are the battles.
Okay.
So after the blinds, it's the battles, which duets. And there's one on Monday, and then there's another one the following Monday. So stay tuned for that. I love that round. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's so fun.
Liv
Oh my
Sierra
goodness.
on The Voice from St. Peter's with us here on KMOX.
You thought things would never change. I'd always have your back. You never have to replace. But as time went along, I found out that this was all wrong. Wishing the rain will wash away my pain, but you gave me your umbrella. If I would have said no, it only leaves the aggressor to blame.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. Dr. Jean Wang, a WashU Medicine gastroenterologist at Siteman Cancer Center.
Our young onset colorectal cancer center focuses on the problems that younger patients might have. And we pay attention to things like fertility, support with trying to manage childcare and caring for older parents during that time. It's a great resource for these younger patients.
Visit siteman.wustl.edu.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Tax season is here, and Missouri families are already seeing the real impact of the Working Families Tax Cut Act. House Republicans are delivering real results for hardworking Missourians. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, the bill is projected to raise wages in Missouri by about $3,000 to $6,000 over the next 4 years. That's more money for groceries, gas, and greater security for your family's future. In Congress, I'm working to protect working families, strengthen our economy, and ensure you are keeping more of your hard-earned money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Zero Res. You know, they do such a great job. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes now. This month, buy one, get one room of carpet clean for free. Unlimited rooms of carpet. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and let them know that Dave sent you.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair. Their crews are very polite and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. FanDuel Sportsbook is my sportsbook. It's also the official sportsbook of KMOX. And right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. So here's how it works. Pretty simple. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets. That's every single day for 10 straight days. So 10 chances to play along during the tournament, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, you name it, it's there. And you can even mix things up with same game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. So however you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get signed up. FanDuel, it's time to dance. Remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Must apply select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable, and they expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. You can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Gas House Gang is coming up at 12, and we should let you know this is programming notes. We have multiple. There will be no Gas House Gang tomorrow because we've got Cardinals baseball broadcast starting at 11:55 on Thursday. That's tomorrow. And then on Friday at 10:30 a.m., well, really 10:15, the broadcast begins. The Billikens will play their first game at 10:30 a.m. in the A10 tournament. We do not know who the opponent will be because they've got a double bye. So there's a bye today. There are games today in the tournament. There are games tomorrow. And then the Billikens will play at 10:30 on Friday. And there will also be no Gas House Gang. And our show is going to be really short that day. So you better get in early, pal. You got a couple of people who have sent in messages.
Yep.
And Kuda here was talking about Liv, our recent guest.
Yes.
Liv Sierra. Who is participating on The Voice. She's from St. Peter's. And he says, good luck, young lady. She's doing great.
Seems like. We also have this text, which I love, about our conversation with EdTech and how kids don't use pen and paper much these days. He says, or she says, I'm 66 and my youth was filled with pen and paper, not only school, but letters and notes written to relatives and friends. It was so wonderful to receive them as well. Also, constant doodling, drawing, and artwork were a part of my days. It was very satisfying to see the results of your own imagination. Yes, that is so true. And because we homeschooled and we had sex and math and
Whoa, what?
Saxon,
Saxon math.
Saxon,
Okay.
Saxon. We had the same book, so we would leave notes for the next kid. So my sister was like 5 years younger than me. Well, I had an older sister, 2.5 years, and she would write something like, hey, doofus, this lesson is hard. And years later, you'd get to that page and it was just hilarious. So we would leave notes for each other in the textbooks that they would find years later.
Oh, hand-me-downs.
Yep. That's pretty
Get
funny.
it? I love it. All right. Go away. I got the Gas House gang now, Amy. You
Fine.
have to leave. Bernie Miklasz is going to be in. We're going to talk a little Cardinals baseball. We'll talk Blues. We will also talk World Baseball Classic and the foul-up that happened last night. And, man, U.S. might be bounced if things don't go their way today. We'll talk about that. We will also talk Billikens, who get ready for the A10 tournament. All that with Bernie Miklasz and me. Xavier Scruggs is going to join the show. So we'll talk to him at 12:30. Anything you missed on this show, all the interviews on the Odyssey app or KMOX.com. Talk to you tomorrow at 9.
Lay off of us, man.
Time now for today's